The original Red Pill Show.
Welcome to a brand new episode.
It took time to discover being left behind was fine. Now I'm coming to my senses. Reach up, fall down, crawl on, fight, and so the stars align tonight, ready for our fight. You know we stand for one being out of sight. Close your eyes and imagine being free from your disguise. Made of spies, that's we're not what they have made us. Yes, yes, fight and so the stars align tonight. Ready for our fight. You know we stand for one being out of sight. Say goodbye to the pleasant night. Say goodbye, fear of flying. Say goodbye to your wish to die. Say goodbye to the tears they made you cry. And so the stars align tonight, ready for our fight. You know we stand for one being out of sight. If you thought it was over now, we've just begun. And I swear we won't bow down. Stand and fight.
Really? Wait a minute. There you are. Welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is Friday. Okay. Van Halen Friday. What's Is that working? Okay. Okay. Don't touch nothing. Myself. It ain't fucking working. Okay. Well, then we're just going to do a practice show. Wow. Ooh, okay. Don't move. All right. There, I can hear myself. Right? Can you hear me? 815-290-0901 to talk about the Nuremberg Code. It's Italian. We are going to talk about the Nuremberg Code. We are all just so stupid. Unbelievable. All right, can you hear? Oh, really? How sweet. I almost forgot Tim exists. No, I exist. I've been busy, busier than one arm paper hanger. All right, so is this your working? So how professional, right? Hello. This is just going to be, I don't know what it's going to be, 290-0912. There's the phone number. But what's going on? And I think we're going to talk about the Nuremberg Code because you're all a bunch of stupid motherfuckers, right? Point?
Right.
Yeah. And you're just letting history repeat itself because you're afraid.
Or you're just imbeciles who don't understand.
Yeah, or you're not awake enough to realize what's going on, which is the same thing, but whatever. Okay, how's everything working? Oh,
I mean, Jesus Christ, people want to fucking sit there and go like, well, I'm just going to let you stab me in the arm. But for what? Give me a second, Tim. Hold on. My audio's acting up.
wow.
Dude, it's just like, what do people not get? That this is literally history repeating itself over and over and over again.
Well, it's going to take until you comply or don't comply, like we were talking on the phone, and you're just going to have to decide and say when enough is enough. So it's going to be a personal choice. Hopefully it's not too late, though.
I mean, here's my thing, because I feel, and this is how I feel, Tim, because we've talked about this, you know, between me, you, Scarlett, and Tila, we've all talked about this a lot. You know, with the vaccinations, COVID, the Nuremberg Code. If people don't want to believe what we're talking about, then guess what? Have a happy life. But I'm telling you this, I'm not gonna live like you're trying to live, because that's how people are trying to force us to live, is exactly the way they want us to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. If you do not comply, you won't work, you won't eat, you won't have a roof over your head, and you will be an outcast.
Pretty much.
That's what's going to happen. Prepare headphones. Okay, good. That's working. So it's going to be a personal choice, because there's a lot of people that I know that have succumbed to the peer pressure, and they just got sick and tired of listening to it, so they just got the vaccination.
Do you know what? That's how my friends are. That's how two of my friends were. They were tired of hearing about it. They were, you know, and at first they were saying, I'm not going to get it. 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 And then I get in their car the one day and they just go like, hey, vaccination passport card. And by the way, thank you, Tila. You know, it's like so many people are being peer pressured to take this vaccine that's not even a vaccine.
Uh-oh. We got Scarlett lurking. She's there. She should come on. She should come on because this is enough horseshit for this. Because, like you and I were talking off the air before we came on, and I'm so glad to be back. And I'm not doing my podcast on my other platforms. And I am coming back here and I'm staying here. And it's a good time, I think. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, anywhere from InfoWars to beyond or beforeitsnews.com to Andrew Kaufman, medical doctor, we're all going to be fucked when October comes around.
Depending on the way you look at it, yeah.
Yeah. So you better get ready because where you're going to be stuck.
I mean, here's the thing. Once this happens, once October comes, there's no more leaving state. There's no more trying to flee. There's no nothing.
Well, you know what gets me, and this is all my opinion, and based on what I've been hearing, I miss my green screen in the back, by the way, because I have a big fucking syringe that would say you're a dumbass, but I don't have that no more. But they're trying to get you in a guilt-ridden state of mind and compliance that if you don't comply, you're going to kill people, and you don't want to kill your loved ones or accidentally kill somebody because you're spreading this thing. And like you and I said on the phone too, from what I've heard on InfoWars, the people that have already been vaccinated are getting this variant, which the variant is being caused by shedding, and they're spreading it.
Right.
Now, this is all hearsay. So, and I'm sick of this. It's about the science. So let me be inappropriate and get fired for the third time on this network. Okay. But if it's about the science, it's about the science, and no offense to anybody. Okay. If it's about the science, then I have a penis. Okay. If I have a penis, I am a male. Okay. So you can you turned off your mic. So if we're gonna use the science, I got a dick. I'm a guy, and there's no argument. Okay, there's no argument, right? Biologically, okay. If you have a vagina, and I'm not going to use the word other than that, you're a female. Okay. But oh well, no, just now you could be whatever you want. Okay, if you can be whatever you want, I want to be Snake Plissken, and I want a dick, and I'm going to use it, and I'm a guy, and I'm going to stick up for myself, and I'm going to run for president. And you can take your science and shove it up your ass because they only apply the science when it serves them to scare the hell out of you to get this shot, which is nothing more than an experiment. And here we go again into the Nuremberg Code.
Right. Sorry, I had to mute myself. You were
What?
Wasn't expecting you to go there.
Sorry. Well, you know what? I haven't been on for a while, so I got to shock the shit out of people. I mean, but I'm not. I'm being real. This is absolutely ridiculous that you have to have a shot. Here, I will share with you what I heard on InfoWars too. So there's a case that was a year or two ago that went all the way to the Supreme Court where a military member was saying, I'm not taking the anthrax shot because it's not approved by the FDA.
Right.
The military, okay? The military owns your ass when you join the military, okay? You lose
Correct.
your rights, this and that. You are property of the U.S. government. But this person filed a suit and said, this is not approved by the FDA, therefore it's experimental. I am not taking it. And the judge ruled in his favor and said, you're right, you do not have to take the shot.
If that can happen, okay, so Tim, since I'm kind of getting on the same page with you here for a minute.
Yeah.
If that is happening, then why the fact can't we do that here?
We can. As a U.S. citizen, you can because you have rights.
Do we though?
Well, no, because they get tricky with it. The U.S. Constitution is second to treaties in the United Nations and all this other horseshit, which that is against the U.S. Constitution. But that's how they get around and circumvent all this stuff because the Constitution is being overridden, which is unconstitutional. It's just as simple as that. Not to mention the Nuremberg Code. I mean, keep going back. I've emailed Alex Jones 10 times. And I'm not saying he's doing that because I emailed him, but he keeps falling back on that. And so do medical doctors that know this Andrew Kaufman guy.
Right.
He's saying the same thing.
Right. So, Tim, you remember how on the phone earlier we were having a little conversation, right?
Yeah.
About this thing.
Yeah.
This is what gets scanned every day when I go in and out of work or in and out of where I live.
Yep.
On the back of said thing, there's that.
Yep. That's your RFID chip right there.
Yep.
They found a way to track you and know where you're at and what your medical background is, which I still think is against HIPAA, but it's none of your goddamn business what my medical record is. So there's ways to fight this, but like you said earlier on the phone, if you don't mind me sharing, it's like, well, if you don't do this, then you can't work here. And if you can't work here, then you can't pay rent, buy food, blah, 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 blah. But right now, it's in the voluntary stages. So like I told you earlier, if you comply to this, then you're cooked. You got to fight it. You have to say no.
Right. Like, I understand, like, why they have this ID, because they say it's, you know, because we have to, us employees, we have to go through certain entrances and everything to be verified of who we are. There's like 6,000 of us. So trying to remember everybody's face isn't going to happen. But when I see my social security number pop up and everything pop up by a click of a button, fuck you.
It's scary, isn't it?
It's not just scary.
Mm-hmm.
It worries me.
It should. Because did you know back in the day that the government said that your social security number would not be used for anything than tax purposes only? Look it up.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm buying cigarettes in the pot, so give me 1 second.
Okay, so anyway, since he's buying cigarettes, which you're being naughty. You should not be smoking, Dwayne. Naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. So it's just going to come down to this. And it's a big reason why I left Colorado, because it's going almost on a year ago, last August. And last spring, they shut everything down because of COVID. They didn't call it COVID, though. They called it coronavirus. And then they said, well, when it warms up, it won't be as prevalent and a problem, so we'll reopen a little bit. But when fall comes, we're shutting everything down. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Tim, you having the volume?
What?
I can't hear you.
Well, I don't know why. Can you hear me, TLO? Everything says it's working. What? Did you turn your phone down and forget? What? What do you mean? No?
Hold on. Let me leave and come back to make sure it's me. Hold on.
It is you. Oh, okay. He left. Everything says it's working, so... Yeah, see? So Dwayne's full of shit. Get a new phone. So as I was trying to say... Here he comes in again. Okay. Yeah? Hello? Yeah? What?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, because TLO says he can hear me, so your phone sucks. Oh, Now you're locked up. So did I, actually.
I'm sorry that I have an Android and not an Apple phone.
I mean, you know what? Tell you, hey, what's up, Lee? How you doing? I got this new Apple phone, but it's it's actually an iPhone 5 form factor, but it's a 12. So they call it a 12 mini. This phone is a shit. This phone is so fucking cool. Anyway. Yeah, so get an Apple. We'll do a GoFundMe account for you, so you can get a fucking phone that works.
Hey, my phone. Hey, look, my phone works.
Oh, sure it does. Real wall too,
You know what, sir? Listen,
sir. Here comes the fuck off. Okay, go ahead.
if you want to talk about my phone not working, let's talk about how TLOs took a flight down 2 stories.
Oh, there you go.
TLO, I'm like, I have an Android, works great from chocolate to velvet, baby. What the hell?
There you go. It could possibly be user error too. You have to put that into, yeah, like the mute button or the volume button or whatever.
Well, I kind of did use my Google. Oh yeah, that's another thing I should mention. Stop carrying fucking credit cards on you people, for Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I use Apple Pay, and I think
I use Google Pay.
yeah, Google Pay. Yeah,
I'll get my credit card.
Yep.
I'll put it in here, and then I'll cut it up and throw that away and not ever touch it again.
Yep. So I was sharing that last August I had to leave Colorado, which I loved, but they were fucking with COVID and they were going to shut everything down. So I don't know. I'll just ask you and everybody else that's listening, do you have the courage to leave where you are to go to a place where you will still retain your rights and the state government will protect you from the big bad federal government?
I do.
Okay.
But here's the thing. My son's rights come before mine.
That's you saying that.
That's me saying that, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
My 2-year-old kid's rights stand before mine.
Okay.
And the only reason, Tim, I'm even saying this, let me get out of here before he starts getting fucking loud. The only reason I am saying that right there is because of the fact that my son is 2 years old, okay? If it came for me to flee for my own safety, for my federal rights, or stay in this state and fight for my son's dying, leaving my fucking kid, I'll make sure my son's rights aren't fucked with or touched before I even think about myself.
And what you're saying, people are getting the shot to protect their family and their kids because they think they're doing an
I can't.
honorable thing. And they're on the other coin. They're on.
Here's my thing. Getting a shot to protect your family is a joke.
Yeah.
Getting the vaccine to protect your family is a joke. It's bullshit. And they're only using that so they can stick an RFID chip in your arm. Because here's the thing, I've been seeing videos out there. To where nurses and shit are putting like scanners up here, like up on their arm right here. It's coming up with long ass fucking numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if, and I say if very lately, no, TLO, they're not. You make a good point. Are people even looking at the numbers these days? No, I don't think they are.
Ooh, here, hang on a minute. This is off InfoWars. I haven't heard this, so this will be a treat. This is off of CNN.
Here is
InfoWars. Here we go.
Don Lemon declaring war on America, war on the world, war on those that don't take an experimental shot unauthorized, that is a gene therapy that half the CDC doctors won't even take themselves. So here's Don Lemon literally saying he wants you to starve to death. This is logical, progression of CNN where they openly want you dead.
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but don't get the vaccine. You can't go to the supermarket.
Fuck
don't have the
off.
vaccine. You can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine. Can't go to work. You don't have the vaccine. Can't come here. No shirt, no shoes, no service. That's where I think we should be right now.
No.
Because we continue to waste our breath on people who are just not going to change. They're, circular logic. They just keep going back and saying, well, it's my freedom. It's whatever. I'm free.
Everything that Don Lemon says is an inversion. Once they get you with the medical ID, that's even bigger than the injection. Now they can actually turn it off so you can't get in the grocery store or get in your car or go to a job. That's the social credit score. That's the world ID. Klaus Schwab admits that's the end game. And they now admit this is really a world ID in Europe, in the UK, and Australia. So he's trying to get the chains on you, just like a kidnapper wants to put handcuffs on you and put a gag in your mouth before he puts you in the back of the van to take you to the torture dungeon. So Don Lemon's like, just put the ball gag in. And look, it's Google, it's Facebook, it's all the Fortune 100 that are first implementing no injection, no job. Of course, they're all.
All right, that's enough of that. So there you go, right there.
That's a treat. I haven't heard that yet either.
No, I just saw it because I was on InfoWars and band.video, and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard this.
And here's my thing on this too, okay? Is that people want the people that are above us. Now, I'm going to put this in a way that somebody I watch who's a fucking patriot to no end has said this. And he threw this out there, and he's running for Congress, I believe, in South Carolina. Tim, if you get a chance to look him up, his name is Graham Allen. He used to serve. He's a veteran.
All right.
He's fucking amazing.
Okay.
And I support him to 100% of where the fuck he's coming from. Is this. As everybody he stated that everybody thinks that, that Congress is what runs.
This is an opinion paper that
Hang
came
on,
out
sorry.
on this.
I did not hit play. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that Congress and the president and the CDC and everybody runs the United States, right?
Yep.
Wrong.
No, it's above the Constitution and above our government.
Everybody that is trying to make these rules, Congress, the CDC, and everybody else, guess what? They fucking work for us. Our tax dollars and everything that we use, they work for us. So, if you want us to get a stick in the fucking arm or get these RFID chips, guess what? How about you fucking get them first? And then tell us that they work. Then tell us that, hey, this vaccine works. But guess what? They won't. Because in the matter of the fact, at the end of the day, they're going to look at us and go like, you know what? We were wrong. These don't do it. I went the wrong fucking way. They're going to go like, no, they don't. This vaccine doesn't fucking work because people that have the vaccine are still fucking dying from COVID-19. I have a buddy of mine who's a nurse in Tennessee stating that we're still getting people who are vaccinated, by the way, completely and 100% vaccinated, still dying from COVID, even if they're vaccinated. So, here's my thing. How many of us is it going to take to stand up and go like, no, I'm not getting this vaccine because it's been proven that people that have the COVID-19 vaccine, Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson, are still dying from COVID-19 with the vaccine. I had a nurse yesterday in my job when I was cleaning the bathrooms when like this vaccine is a fucking hoax. I am an RN nurse and I am getting more vaccinated people with the new Delta variant that is the same fucking thing, same symptoms as everybody else. Right?
Hey, how'd that happen? Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So, when the fuck are we going to stand up and go, like, enough's enough? You know what I mean?
Until you're pushed to there's going to be a fine line. You're going to have to do it before there's no other choice and prepare for it, or you're going to have to just comply and you do it, and you're going to pass that line with no return, and you're not going to have a choice. And whatever that is going to be a personal choice. How much shit are you going to take? This is like all right. We're dealing with a bunch of fucking sociopaths. Okay. Sociopaths lie all the time. They use information and people and loved ones against you to get you to do what they want you to do. And what that is they want you to get, I'm not even going to call it vaccination, a shot. They want you to get this shot.
Right.
And then once you do it and you comply, then they win and they got you by the balls.
Right.
Well, that's sociopathic behavior. Look it up. Trust me. That's exactly what it is. But I got something here off of InfoWars. There's this guy, Dr. Kaufman, Andrew Kaufman. You want to hear what he has to say here?
Hell yeah. I'm going to mute myself, so go ahead and play it.
Here we go.
Now, this is an opinion paper that came out on this issue of mandating the experimental vaccines
what a coincidence.
Employers. So we have Donna Johnson, who is the acting assistant attorney general, prepared this opinion as of July 6th. And it's called Whether Section 554 of the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act prohibits entities from requiring the use of a vaccine subject to an emergency use authorization. So what that really means is, can employers or schools require, in order to receive certain services or to be employed, can they require their employees or students to receive this experimental vaccine that has not been approved by the FDA?
Nuremberg Code.
And what they concluded, or what Ms. Johnson concluded, was that actually employers can do this. But it's really fascinating, the reasoning, and we're going to
that's robotic.
detail. But one of the things that needs to be clear is that you have to look just at the context of this opinion. So first of all, this is an opinion. It has not been adjudicated in a courtroom setting. Okay, this is prepared by the deputy counsel to the president in order to advise the president on policy decisions. Okay, so this is not binding in court. So in other words, if you were an employee required by your employer to get the vaccine, you could still sue them. This opinion does not have any effect over any individual. So we need to take it very carefully with a grain of salt.
Oh, is that it?
Hello and welcome back to the Alex Jones
Here we
Show.
go.
I want to thank Alex for inviting me on. I'm Dr. Andrew Kaufman, and I'll be your guest host for the next hour. And I have some exciting news and some exciting things to talk to you about today. I'm going to be focusing on the Federal Drug Administration, the FDA, and their emergency use authorization process, because there's been some recent news with respect to the PCR as well as the vaccines. And I'm going to help you understand the legal and historical context for this very important issue that's affecting your rights right now. So if we could bring up the first slide, please.
Okay, did you hear that? The legal argument and your rights. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so listen to this guy. This is Dr. Andrew Kaufman. Doctor, this isn't a conspiracy theorist or some asshole from CNN. This is a doctor, okay? And it's not Doctor Who, okay? So listen to that. Not you. I mean you, Dwayne, but listen, people. Listen to this. Get your head out of your fucking ass and listen to this guy, okay?
Can I say one thing before you play this, Tim?
No, I already started it. Go ahead. What?
Guys, right now, the information Tim's about to play you are from people who have been following this since day fucking one. Like us. This is the same message that we've been saying, but more in depth. If you listen to this and still think we're dumbasses, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the ass on the way out. That's all I have to say.
And if you get this shot according to doctors and Alex Jones and InfoWars, and just look it up, what this shot does, and I wish Alicia was on here, but it generates this protein prions that eventually breaks your blood-brain barrier. It goes to your brain, not to mention...
Tim, we lost you.
No, how about now?
You're good.
Okay. All the autoimmune issues that it gets you in, I mean, it's, do your homework and you'll find out people that are dying or getting sick from this thing allegedly, and you will find out. But essentially what it causes is mad cow disease. And it takes about 3 years for these protein prion crystals to grow into your body, which you cannot get rid of and you can't stop. So they are predicting within 3 years, you're going to be dead. Okay? So there you go. But don't take my word for it. Listen to this guy. All right. Are you ready for this? You ready, Dwayne?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Here we go.
So what we have here, and I'm not sure if it's up there, it goes, is an announcement that the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, is withdrawing its emergency use authorization request to the FDA for the PCR tests that were originally approved in February of 2020. Now, this is quite significant because after that date, these tests will no longer be allowed to be used. And the PCR test has been the most widely used so-called diagnostic test for COVID-19 across the world, and especially in the United States. And as we know, all of the tyrannical policies that restrict your rights and require you to participate with unapproved medical interventions are based on the results of this test. So why is it going to be withdrawn? Well, the truth of the matter is that there are two different ways to get your product on the market for a medical device, and this test is a medical device. One way is the emergency use authorization, and there are specific time-limited criteria. But to have your device on the market permanently to be able to sell, you need to get formal FDA approval. And the manufacturers of this test realized that they would not be able to even apply for FDA approval because they do not meet the criteria. As I've stated many times, the PCR test scientifically is not really suited for diagnosing clinical disease. But aside from that, this particular test has never undergone what's known as validation studies. Now, validation studies are what actually prove that it measures what you think that it measures. So why don't we go to the next slide, please? And here, what we're showing is one of the FDA EUA authorization letters. So each time a product receives this emergency use authorization designation, which is different from FDA approval, they issue a letter to the manufacturer giving them this approval. And so here's an example of one of the PCR diagnostics from Ipsum Diagnostics LLC that was issued on April 1st, 2020. And I want to show this to illustrate some important things that it says. So first of all, if you look at the highlighted text where under indication at the top, you'll see that it is a approved or authorized for qualitative detection of nucleic acid from SARS-CoV-2. Now, nucleic acid is another word for RNA or DNA, but what this is specifying is that it can only detect genetic material that is said to be from this virus, but cannot detect the actual virus, and also cannot detect the clinical state of being in a disease due to a virus. And the next slide, please. If we look further down in this authorization letter, you see the highlighted text again that is based on the totality of scientific evidence available at the time this was granted, that, quote, it is reasonable to believe that your product may be effective in diagnosing COVID-19. So you can see that there's only the reasonability of a belief not a fact or not knowledge, that the product may, right, which also means or may not be effective in diagnosing COVID-19. So you can see that this is not very strict criteria. And hello and welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm your guest host, Dr. Andrew Kaufman, filling in today. So as I was stating before the break, we have this language in the authorization letter that puts a lot of doubt about if this product actually can successfully diagnose COVID-19. And we'll know that it's not required to prove that it can diagnose this condition in order to get this authorization letter. So let's go on to the next slide. Now, here we have the specific requirements from the FDA. Now, to get approval of IVD, which is in vitro diagnostics, that's any diagnostic test done in the laboratory, there are two pathways. Now, the 510K is the abbreviated pathway, so it's the easiest way to get such a device approved. So I thought I would highlight that in this example. And you can see that the FDA requires, among other things, the analytical specificity and sensitivity of an in vitro diagnostic in order to be approved. So what is that? Let's go to the next slide, please. So I found an article here from the NIH that discusses what sensitivity and specificity are. And essentially what they are statistics that are based on the error value or the error rate of the test. And the sensitivity is how well it can detect something that may not be common. And the specificity is if there is a positive result, is it very specific or does it give false results? So these are essentially ways to measure accuracy or error. Now you'll see in the second column here that this article is specifically talking about tests in ophthalmology, and it states, quote, "A lot of this high-tech explosion involves diagnostic tests. Regrettably, there is sometimes a tendency to use tests just because they are available or because they are high-tech." Now, this is a very key point here because we have PCR tests are very high-tech in terms of molecular biology. And according to the FDA, there have been approximately 600 different diagnostics and therapeutics applied for emergency use authorization to the FDA. So this is quite a prolific field and a big money grab. If we could go to the next slide, please. So this article further goes to say that in order to calculate sensitivity and specificity, you need to have a gold standard. Now it says the gold standard is the best single test that is considered the current preferred method of diagnosing a particular disease. So what we have to do is take our proposed diagnostic test that we're applying to the FDA for and compare it to a gold standard in order to obtain the sensitivity and specificity calculations. And please advance to the next slide. Also, you can see in the second column, sorry, this should be one before I went too far. It talks about validity. And validity is the name for the study where you would compare this to a gold standard. And what it says here, it defines the validity. It is the extent to which a test measures what it is supposed to measure. Okay, so that's really key. So we have an experimental test we're going to apply to the FDA, but we have to do a validation study to show that it measures what we say it's going to measure. And in order to do that, we have to compare it to a gold standard and then use that comparison to calculate the error rate, as well as sensitivity, specificity, and other variables. Okay, next slide. So what is the gold standard in virology? Now, we can't see this whole slide, but we have, I'm going to read two quotes because I have two separate articles here. Now, the first is from an article about bovine viral diarrhea virus, and it says, quote, "Virus isolation is a basic, reliable, and widely used method for diagnosis of BV/DV infection and remains the gold standard for the virus diagnostics." Okay, now we go to the second article, which is looking at cytomegalovirus. And I put a quote at the end right there. Culture is the gold standard. Now, the experiment that I have criticized immensely as being not a valid way to identify a virus. However, according to mainstream virology, this is the gold standard of how they identify a virus. So if you are going to be able to calculate the sensitivity and specificity of such a diagnostic test like the PCR. And by the way, this applies to all of the diagnostic tests that have been put forth and have received emergency use authorization, that they would all have to be compared to a gold standard in order to determine all of these variables about their error. And that would require comparing them to virus isolation according to their own standards. Now, this study has never, not once, been done. So,
what a shocker. All right, I'm going to forward this. I put the link in the chat room, but I want to get into more deeper shit here.
But also a PhD research may do it out of convenience, but essentially there's not going to be any more huge numbers. So they want to, we have been hearing, and this is
because this is almost an hour long.
If you've heard a lot of information about this, but there are the mRNA, so-called vaccines, which an example would be Moderna. And then there are DNA, also vaccines, of which an example would be the Johnson & Johnson. And there are some nuances that differentiate these technologies from each other, but essentially these are all a brand new vaccine technology.
Experimental.
Never been used before. And in fact, there are almost no gene therapies at all that have been granted approval for use. So we are basically combining two technologies here, vaccines and gene therapy. So there is no precedent for this. But nonetheless, let's look at the next slide because let's see, is there actually an emergency?
Nope.
Now, the federal government and the Department of Health and Human Services still maintain their emergency status, and they've been renewing it every 90 days. However, among the states, you can see from the map in the middle that solid blue or dark gray means that those states are open and no longer have a state of emergency declared. And you can see that it is practically every state except Hawaii. So we have all of the states have lifted their states of emergency. And that signifies that there is no longer the required context for EUA authorization according to the states. Now, the Health and Human Services Department needs to get in line with all of the states because that is their job. Okay. So if we go to the next slide, let's look at the other criteria. Is there an alternative treatment that is safe and effective? And I want to point here to this is a review article. Now, I don't know how it's possible to have a review article in such a short time because we've only experienced this pandemic for a year and a half. And a review article means it's reviewing all of the studies that have already been done. And in this case, they have not just a review, but it's a meta-analysis. And that is a very powerful mathematical technique when they take multiple studies, but not just the studies, they actually take all of the data or the results from those studies and put them in one set of results, like combining them, and then they analyze that. And meta means that it's beyond the results of any individual study. This is like a summary of all the research on the topic. And we have one here for ivermectin in the prophylaxis and treatment of COVID-19 in such a short time. And it said that there were 18 randomized controlled treatment trials. Now, if we compare that with any of the vaccines that have been given authorization, they've only had one trial, randomized controlled trial. And it didn't even look at the important outcomes. But here we have 18 different RCTs that were combined into a meta-analysis. And if we read the conclusions, this is what it said. Meta-analysis based on 18 randomized controlled trials, treatment trials of ivermectin in COVID-19 have found large, statistically significant reductions in mortality, time to clinical recovery, and time to viral clearance. Now, one study of the vaccine used mortality as an endpoint. So we don't even know if lives are saved. But here we know from ivermectin that there is a large reduction in mortality, so a large life-saving benefit, and time to viral clearance. Furthermore, results from numerous controlled prophylaxis trials, now that is prevention, so that is actually the same thing that the vaccine is designed to do, report significantly reduced risks of contracting COVID-19 with the regular use of ivermectin. So we see here that not only is ivermectin proved to be effective at preventing COVID-19 infections, but also not only can treat it and make you recover faster, but actually saves lives. And this has been proven by a meta-analysis, which is a very, very powerful analysis. So we see that the two criteria required for emergency use authorization, that neither of them have been fulfilled when we take a closer look at what the research shows.
So, Tim.
Now,
Why?
I'm going to shift to
So, if I'm hearing this correctly, okay, because I want to ask that way I don't misunderstand anything that's being said here, okay?
Yeah.
So, the two vaccines that have been brought out haven't even been compared to anything yet.
Compared for what?
When he's talking about the metaphysical stage, when he's talking about the trials and everything, it's only went through one and they haven't compared it to anything else.
No, and what he's saying is that to declare an emergency situation, there can't be any alternative or effective treatments. So therefore, it's an emergency, and we have to come up with something. You know, like hydrochloroquine or whatever, quinine, and whatever Trump took. He took that, and it fought it, and it won. There can't be any other medications or treatments to treat COVID-19 that work and have been proven to work to have a state of emergency.
So
there has been, so they're full of shit.
So the state of emergency. So okay. So this is why I had you start it, because this is what's going through my head, right? All other states besides Hawaii have lifted their emergency status, correct?
That's what he said.
But the health department and somebody else have not, and they're renewing it every 90 days.
Yeah, I guess.
How the fuck is that? Okay. So the federal government, the federal health department, whatever the hell he said, is
FDA.
renewing this every 90 days to keep us entrapped
I guess.
in what's supposed to be considered a global pandemic, or what is considered to be a statewide pandemic here in the States, but there's no proof to back that up.
Correct. Science. There's no science, no facts.
Right. Okay. So, okay, I see what you're saying now. Sorry, go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll see. If it don't get more interesting, I'll get it to the interesting parts, because I heard this when he was doing it live. But like I said, I put the link in the chat room. So you want to listen to this thing in its entirety, go right ahead. But hang on.
very shocking but important document next, and this is on the next slide. Now, this is an opinion paper that came out on this issue of mandating the experimental vaccine.
We heard that.
Language that I've read is part of. Now, I want to draw your attention to the next slide, because this issue has been tried in court before. So we have a case here. Now, this is called Doe v. Rumsfeld.
Listen to
and
this.
It's from 2003. And what we have here is essentially that we had a service member who was required to receive an experimental anthrax vaccine. And they sued the federal government asking for an emergency injunction. In other words, that they would not require them to take the vaccine, which was not FDA approved as safe and effective. And the court ruled in their favor and granted the injunction, saying that they could not be required unless there was a presidential waiver. Now, I want to explain this a little bit because we're talking about here not a regular United States citizen or a regular individual or man or woman like you or I, but we're talking about a service member. And when you enlist into the armed forces, you essentially sign away your rights and you become a subject of the armed services, and no longer are you a free citizen of the United States. So what they're saying here is, even though you're not even a free citizen, you're a subject of the armed services, that they can't even force you to take an experimental vaccine unless there is a specific presidential waiver. And subsequently, there was actually some additional legislation passed that the presidential waiver can only be granted when there is a direct threat to national security that would not be protected unless the waiver was granted. So just to summarize here, we have even service members, according to the courts, cannot be mandated to have this injection. Now let's go to the next slide and take a little bit of a closer look at Dawn Johnson, who is the author of this opinion. And we can see from CBS News, if we look at the heading here, because she has served under prior Democratic administrations, quote, Obama renominates pro-abortion Dawn Johnson to Justice Department post. Now, Dawn Johnson, who is a professor at Indiana University and graduated from Yale Law School, she has a long track record of being a big advocate of civil rights. In fact, she even worked for the ACLU in the past. She teaches constitutional law at the law school and has been a major, major advocate for pro-choice and abortion rights. Now, it's quite interesting to look at the juxtaposition and the hypocrisy in these two policies, because she spent her career protecting the right to choose for our body, the privacy, the integrity of our bodies, that we can choose for ourselves, because that is the basis of the Roe v. Wade decision that protects abortion rights. Now she has issued an opinion saying the exact opposite. Now she says it's perfectly okay to force a experimental medical treatment on people for employers, as long as it's not the manufacturer of the product themselves. Now, imagine if employers were concerned about overpopulation and they decided that all their employees who became pregnant would have to get an abortion or be terminated from employment, because that's precisely the situation that she has said is legal and okay to carry out. So this is, quite a shocking and surprising change of direction. But let's go further to the next slide, because really what we're talking about here is we're talking about forcing the experimental or the use of an experimental treatment on the population here. And whether it's by a government, whether it's by the manufacturer, or whether it's by an employer, it is still the same procedure. So here we have aspects of the Nuremberg Code.
There you go, Nuremberg.
The Nazis did extreme amounts of experiments on their population, and they did this without consent, of course. And because of these atrocities, there was a trial, and the results of the trial were made into the Nuremberg Code. And one of the main provisions of the Nuremberg Code is to prohibit experimentation on people without their voluntary consent. And it says that it is absolutely essential to have their consent. And in fact, as a researcher myself in academic medicine and in medical school, I learned about this when I had to do a special training with what's called the IRB, or Institutional Review Board. And this is a network of boards that regulate and approve human subject research. And they're set up at every academic institution, every hospital, every place that does human research in the entire United States and beyond. And I had to undergo this training where I learned that the Nuremberg Code was actually the reason why we were very, very careful about doing research on human subjects. Now, if you will go to the next slide, because in the United States, we have written this. And by the way, there's also the Declaration of Helsinki, which is another document that sort of follows up on the Nuremberg Code. But in the United States, we have the Belmont Report, which was prepared in 1979. And this is what set up the institutional review boards. And there's a quote on the right, because some people may say that this experimental vaccines are not actually research, that they are a real treatment. And this paragraph speaks specifically to that fact. So the fact that a procedure is, quote, experimental in the sense of new, untested, or different does not automatically place it in the category of research. That's what I was talking about. Radically new procedures of this description should, however, be made the object of formal research at an early stage in order to determine whether they are safe and effective. So radically new procedures like a gene therapy vaccine. So in other words, this quote directly applies to the current experimental vaccines, that even though they are not regulated as research among the general population, they actually meet the criteria because the radically different technology that has been previously untested, never used before. So people, I want to, just reiterate that we are in a time here when the major treaties, the major human rights declarations, and even our own laws and codes and statutes are being directly violated, and it's being done out in the open, and government officials are actually saying that it's okay that they violate the law, and they use trickery, like in this opinion document, where they only look at it in the context of that one law. They don't look at it under any other statutes, like the Developmental Disabilities, the Disabilities Act. So thank you for listening to this complete and long discussion today. I'm Dr. Andrew Kaufman for the Alex Jones Show.
All right. So, thoughts?
Thoughts?
Thoughts.
What the fuck is the first thing that comes to mind? Okay. Literally, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I haven't dug down this far, okay? And I'm glad I'm sitting down in my room now, because this just kind of pissed me right the fuck off. Okay. So, I'm going to go way back to the beginning. Here for a minute. All right. I'm going to go way back to the beginning. When he was showing the stages of what it has to do to become an emergency authorized trial, right? Not even to call it a vaccine. Tim, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Not even a vaccine, an emergency authorized trial. That's what I'm going to call it at this point. Correct? I mean, Tim, that's what we've called it in the past before. It hasn't even met the criteria for this to be pushed out because, like you said, there's the hydrochloroquine and the other shit that, what was it, that fucking Trump took, right? So, and then how he ties it in with the Nuremberg Code, and that you're not even supposed to practice on human fucking subjects without consent. What the fuck?
Because paying people $100 each time they get a vaccine ain't someone's fucking consent. That's bribery. You know what I mean? Tim? Tim? Hello? Timothy? Tim, I can't hear you. You're staticky.
What was that?
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I had to pee.
No, you're good. So the fact of the matter is, like I just said at the end when you kind of walked away to go pee, is that the fact that we're not even supposed to be experimenting on human subjects, right? But we are. Because one, they've never used gene therapy for pretty much fucking anything. And then two, you had gene therapy and mRNA on top of each other. What the fuck?
Yep.
Are you trying to kill us?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't even have to ask that fucking question. Yeah, you are. Dude, I'm so fucking pissed. My legs fucking shaking.
Yeah, and you're being lied by a bunch of sociopaths to get you to do what they want you to do, based on fear, misinformation, and assholes on CNN that has the right to voice that they're gay, but if you want to be an anti-vaxxer, you're a fucking asshole.
Or a terrorist.
Well, yeah, right. So with that thinking, okay, all gay people, I don't believe this, but this is the line of thinking, all gay people or think different are domestic terrorists. Right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, because if you're anti-vax, and it's not really even anti-vax, it's just that you're anti-experimental Nuremberg code bullshit, and you're saying take your shot, shove it up your ass. So now you're a fucking terrorist because you're exercising your rights.
Well, here's my thing, okay? And this is where I'm going to go next with this. Sorry, I'm also standing on my chair to find my fucking deodorant because I just got to lift my fucking armpits. Here's my thing. Tim, can I still be heard or am I a little too far away?
I don't know. You look like you're in the barracks.
I'm actually in my bedroom, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually in my room. So, see, Grant, this is why I'm pissed off, is because of the fact that you're going to fucking lie to us and say, oh, this has been used before when fucking Dr. What? Andrew, what the fuck's his name? Kaufman? Andrew Kaufman?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm so pissed off I can't even get my fucking facts together right now. They come out and say, oh, we've done this before. No, the fuck you haven't, unless you would have got the FDA approval on it, you fucking moron.
Yep.
And TLO, if you're at work and the F-bombs are bothering you, I'm sorry, I am irritated as ever.
And TLO says it right there. You're being coerced into this, and that's one of the Nuremberg Code violations.
Right, because they're also paying people $100 to get a vaccine. Not even. Why the fuck am I calling it a vaccine?
It's not. It's not a vaccine, and that's what people think because they trust the medical industry and the government, and it's a vaccinate. Here's a good example, dumbasses. Listen to this. If you get the polio vaccine and you're around people that get polio, do you get polio if you've been vaccinated? No. So if you get the vaccination for COVID-19 and you're around people that have it, you shouldn't get COVID-19, right?
But people still are.
Hello, McFly. Is this mic working, dumbasses? Get your head out of your fucking ass. You are being lied to.
Well, and here's my thing, Tim. All right, Sheila. I just wanted to make sure before I decided to go on a further rant. And Tim, I'm so pissed off. I'm getting food again.
I'm eating a big bag of potato chips, so I hear you.
Well, it's like this, okay? It's like this, all right? The fact of the matter is that we're being lied to. 2, we're being coerced, which is not a form of consent. Hello? Wake up, dumbasses. Like Tim said, is my mic working? Because here's the fucking thing. Fucking all the time, when there's a new experimental thing out there, what's the first thing we throw at us, Tim? Money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. You're breaking up.
Sorry, TLO's comment got me.
Oh, okay. All right.
And here's my thing. And on top of this, when I go to the hospital up here for my seizures, Tim, you want to know what they ask me? Are you vaccinated? No. Would you like to be put on the waiting list? Fuck you.
Yeah, how about fuck off?
Like, when I walk into Walmart and shit, sorry, and I'm putting a compression sleeve on so I can calm the hell down because I found out these things help my fucking nerves. Pissed off my fucking wrong way, dumbass.
Here, you want to really get pissed? If this is what I think it is, I recorded this off of Before It's News with some woman. Here, let's see if this is it. Because now there's some graphite fucking bullshit in this shot. And I think that's what this audio is. So I'm going to play it real quick and I'm going to see what it is. If it plays. Come on, play. Come on.
I'm sure you guys have seen that there's been several videos circulating lately that the VA, the rest. I don't want to get flagged for extremist content over here, but that they are comprised, some that they're finding, of 99% graphene oxide. Graphene oxide is a compound of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. It can be less than 1 nanometer thick, and it literally is a superconductor. And I've posted a ton on ferromagnetic nanobots, nanoparticles, their relationship with EMFs and the 5G grid, and specifically magnetoprotein and magnetoinfection. And these are all pretty much the same thing with the same characteristics. You know, you can replace nanobots with Morgellons, right? They're interchangeable. Graphene oxide shares the exact same characteristics and interacts the same way as this magnetoprotein, right? And results in this magnetoinfection. So graphene oxide has been found in masks, PCR tests, a plethora of products, now and
wait, did she say masks?
Found in chemtrail fallout.
What?
Did she say masks?
Yeah, masks and PCR tests. Yeah.
I ain't wear a fucking mask again. Fuck that.
All right, here. It's almost over. Hang on. Play.
Sorry, Tim.
It's all right. Play. It's not playing. Oh, that sucks. Here.
Technology in us via because not everybody is getting this. So they perfected the method of deployment, which was, aerosol spraying, right, from the sky that literally no human on Earth in an area that's sprayed can avoid.
She gets in the chemtrails, sure. Huh?
Because not everybody is getting that. So they perfected the method of deployment, which was, aerosol spraying, right, from the sky that also has been found in chemtrail fallout. Because we know that they're not only has been found in masks, PCR tests, a plethora of products, now and also has been found in chemtrail fallout. Because we know that they're not only getting this technology in us via because not everybody is getting that. So they perfected the method of deployment, which was, aerosol spraying, right, from the sky that literally no human on Earth in an area that's sprayed can avoid, and also through the food and water supply and any sort of personal care products. So we've already seen that these ferromagnetic nanoparticles, nanobots in pretty much everything. So, you know, they wanted to make sure that nobody missed out on their fun and games, right? Can't have that. So what I find really interesting is that the only thing that I've come across that is able to detox and remove graphene oxide is glutathione. Now, I personally don't believe a glutathione supplement is available or is able to actually mimic glutathione in our system. However, precursors to glutathione, right, amino acids like glycine and cysteine and glutamic acid, and things like NAC, right? NAC is probably the most well-known precursor to glutathione that helps your body make more of this absolutely essential, critical mineral. So, I mean, is it any surprise that that was the first supplement that the FDA banned in the last couple of weeks? Probably not. Thankfully, there are things that we can do to boost glutathione production, things that I do normally anyway, because glutathione is so absolutely critical in so many functions and cofactors in the body, but especially things like immune function. You need glutathione to have a healthy, strong immune system. It's also absolutely essential for proper methylation and detoxification. So if we are not producing enough of this, which a lot of us aren't, and some of the reasons we aren't are the other things that they thought of. So stress will deplete glutathione stores immensely, okay? Most people are under a pretty considerable amount of stress in this modern world, especially the last couple of years, I would say. Sleep. Proper sleep is absolutely crucial for glutathione production. And what are we seeing a lot of lately, right? Disruptions in sleep, insomnia, multiple things, but so many that are caused by the electromagnetic frequencies and fields, right? And the fact that we are not producing enough melatonin because we are constantly bombarded with these non-native frequencies. And aside from sleep and stress, radiation in general absolutely decimates glutathione production. So we are 24/7 constantly bombarded, right, with these non-native frequencies and radiation. Another thing that depletes glutathione, GMOs and toxins. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think we got a lot of those in the environment right now, okay? Sprayed on us from above, food, water supply, personal care products. Again, they've literally put poison in everything. So our glutathione production is not where it's supposed to be. But there are some very simple things that we can do to boost. Why can't I say boost glutathione production? It's because my brain starts to think of like the next word ahead. And so then I just mix them all up. Anyways, that we can do to boost production naturally and really help the precursors to glutathione so that our body production, so that we can naturally boost our glutathione levels and help detox the graphene oxide that is in all of us, you know, some more than others, and the rest of the stuff that they constantly fill us with, because that's the MO, right, is to fill the population as much as possible with their toxic agenda, because then the result of that is you get a completely zombified population who literally can't use their brain, right, or break out of the cell that they're under, and they need people to be highly toxic, right? And they need people to be in an impaired state for the agenda to work. So one good thing is that you'll see on my list of things that naturally help boost glutathione, and the precursors to that are going to overlap with a lot of my other supplement recommendations. You know, for instance, things that I recommend that I take daily to disable and kill the bots, or protect, you know, on a cellular level from EMF radiation, or to decalcify the pineal gland, or just my general supplementation protocol that I use. A lot of these things you're going to also find on the list to boost glutathione, which is really great because we don't want to have to be taking and remembering all the things all the time. So I am just going to share some, easy, some are just everyday foods and things that you can do. Sulfur is one of the most important things that you can do to boost glutathione production. And I use fulvic and humic acid for that because it is a really rich source of sulfur and many other trace minerals, but that's my preferred source for that. Or things like cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, garlic. Garlic is super high in one tip. I won't go off on a tangent and ruin my stories, but so garlic has a sulfur-containing compound called allicin in it. But when it is chopped, it converts to allicin, and allicin is actually where all garlic's potent properties come from. So not only does it need to be chopped or chewed to create that conversion to the allicin, right, which is going to be the highly usable form of sulfur that we want, but it also starts to degrade about an hour after chopping. So this is why certain things like a garlic pill, right? I've seen garlic pills, supplements at the store, and I'm like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like, it doesn't do anything, but people buy it because they think garlic's good for you. Or the pre-chopped, I know a lot of people buy pre-chopped garlic, like from Costco or something, like in a jar. I don't know, I've seen it. And I get it. Like, we're such a convenience-driven society, but you sacrifice a lot of things for convenience, and health for sure is one of those things. So with garlic, it is best raw. Raw and chopped. Raw and chewed, it burns. But like if somebody here gets sick, and we do, there's a handful of things that are my go-tos. Everybody chews a raw garlic. It will also really help kill parasites. So now fresh garlic in a tincture can preserve some of the properties, but anything else like in a pill or a dehydrated form is not going to do anything for you. So if you're looking to get sulfur content, that's fine, honey. If you're looking to get sulfur content from garlic, as well as its, many other amazing properties, you want to just chew it up, suck it up, do it raw. That's my.
Hello. Okay. Thoughts on that?
Don't get me started.
All right, I'm going to say this then, if you're just going to get more pissed or think what you're going to say. So when all this shit started, I was one of the few, and she brought it up right in the beginning, that all this stuff with this graphic oxide shit or whatever she's talking about with ferrous, which is iron, and nanobot technology, that 5G is going to get tied into this thing. So in essence, you're going to be part of the Internet of Things, and you can type this on YouTube and do your homework that they've done experiments with nanotechnology with cockroaches to get them to do what they wanted them to do through this technology.
I mean, okay, so Tim, you make a good point. Which, here's my thing. And so the one thing I love that she said, okay, was where some of this shit is coming from, right? You know what I mean, Tim?
Yeah.
The masks, the PCR tests, then the fact that it's being sprayed in the air.
Yeah, through chemtrails that don't exist. Yeah.
Right there is a wide variety of shit. It's a wide variety, okay? So, my thing is, and she said something about, okay, sorry, my mind is just fucked.
Too much.
No, it's not too much. My brain is just going all over the place. Because the fact that there are so many things out there. I am all right. Lots of crazy things happen in my life as of late. It's a little upside down right now. Haley, I've been meaning to call you, but I've been busy. Ha! Sorry. It's weird seeing Scarlett in the chat rooms.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing her in the chat rooms and not seeing her on screen with us. Scarlett, come back. We miss you.
Yeah, get your ass in here and talk about this shit. It's right up for alley.
Come fire us like for the 9th time.
Yeah. Should I be her?
Do it, Tim.
This is Scarlett, and Dwayne and Tim, you guys are being a bunch of assholes, and I'm gonna fire you right now for the 3rd time, and you can get the hell out of my black ass, and you're out of here right now.
I swear you do a good impression of her.
Oh boy.
I wanted to take a drink of my apple juice and I went there and spit it back out.
I'm in trouble. Again.
When are we not in trouble?
I don't know. That don't get around. Nothing will. Okay.
But here's my thing. Okay. From what Andrew Kaufman said, from what InfoWars has said, and from what now this person has said, everything is making more sense in my head than what we've been talking about this for a little over a year and a half now. Okay.
Yep.
Because originally when COVID-19 came out, me and Scarlett started talking about this back in December of 2019. When the first cases came up, I believe it was in China. Yeah, when it came up in China, right around. Ow, no. Fucking damn it. Right around the Chinese New Year. Just a second. This might set off my fire alarm, but I have to do it. Just try not to burn me at the same time. Okay. It didn't burn me or set off my fire alarm. Cool. But, anyways. So the fact of the matter is that everything is now making sense in my head. Okay, but I still want to go back to what Andrew Kaufman was talking about because this is where my brain's at, Tim, and I can't let the fuck go. I can't.
Which is a doctor, by the way.
So, which is a doctor, which is why my head's like wrapped around it.
Yep.
She said, I'm going to try to get on here with y'all in a second. I'm eating dinner.
Fried chicken, I bet?
Dude! I was plucked. God, I thought it was fried chicken, grape Kool-Aid, and watermelon.
Ooh. Okay.
Come on, Jamie. You can't have fried chicken in there without adding the other ones.
And some Schlitz malt liquor and cool cigarettes.
That's an interesting combo.
Yeah, that's what black people like. It's not my fault.
I thought it was Newport. It's not Coles.
Oh, she is eating fried chicken. Look at that. Whoa.
I'm fired.
Whoa.
We're fired.
Swish, poof.
Dwayne, Tim, you're fired. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm good. Here it comes. I know.
It's all right. You've already fucking fired us like 3 times.
My first show back in like 2 months, and I'm fucked. I see that. That's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. You're fired. Fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. It's
my question is, just these she's in here watching. How many fucking times are you gonna fire us before you just truly get rid of us?
I don't know. It's okay.
But here's my thing: you have a doctor saying this shit, right?
Yes, a doctor. Correct.
Which is the shocking. I don't even know why the fuck is shocking to me. A doctor,
Mm-hmm.
out of all people, is what is saying this. A doctor. Because of the fact that you have a actual licensed PhD medical doctor coming out and saying that this trial, I'm not calling it a vaccine, this trial, fuck you, Tim.
Go ahead.
You have a fucking goddamn.
Oh, come on. We got to put some humor into this at the expense of Scarlett.
Oh, here's kilos. I'm having garlic clam sauce with linguine noodles tonight because I'm appropriate the hell out of Italians. What the fuck?
Yeah, but this one's better. I like this.
Fuck you. I mean, the French. I mean, they do say once you go black, you never go back. So I can understand that.
I cannot honestly confess or back that statement up.
I can't either.
So
only thing I know is I have a great black fucking friend who's the daughter of a mad black woman one day in the fucking you're fired the next day. Oh my god. I'm gonna fucking call her tonight. She's gonna fucking tell me I'm fired.
hopefully she comes on before we end the show. But I'm gonna give her a half hour and that's it.
Oh no, her ass will be on here before a half hour.
You think?
Knowing us antagonizing the fuck out of her, yeah.
I know, I can't wait. I mean, she can take the show over.
TLS at halfway back, question mark, exclamation point. What the fuck? And here's my white ass fucking drinking apple juice.
Yeah, that's a.
Mayor Lightfoot told me to drink it.
I'm sure she did. It's the drink of lesbians everywhere.
I can't even drink apple juice. God damn it, Tim. Well, my apple juice is going back in the fridge. Fuck this.
Okay.
God, Jesus fucking Christ.
And the reason why Chicago's all fucked up because of Dwayne, because he broke up with Mayor Lightfoot. So just send all the complaints to Freedomizer. What is it? Freedom Revolution Network?
It's Dwayne at Freedom Revolution Network.
There you go. Send all complaints to that email address.
Dwayne at Freedom Revolution Network.com, or you can send them to Dwayne Linham3 at Outlook.com. Whichever one you want to do. I have two business emails, so it doesn't matter. The first one of you to tell me I'm fucking fired, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. The only person that can tell me that is Curly. But no, okay. So Tim, I also want to address a comment you said. You said I look like I'm in a barrack.
It does, yeah.
I'll show you what this barrack looks like. Oh no, Lee, I am sorry to hear that, and it will happen. We have a big issue. It's probably one of the things I sent her earlier today. So, but here, let me see if I can flip my camera around. Camera, back. All right. So here, hold on. I'm gonna put my hand in front of this. Open up my door. My room literally does look like a barrack. There's mine and my buddy's bed. There's the two other bunk beds, the lockers over there, my guitar, fridge and a microwave, like right here. So we pretty much do live in a barracks. So it's like a military barracks, but it's fucked. Did you go away again, Tim? Yeah, so this is...
All right, I got to short my USB cord. I know where it's at. Okay.
But, yeah, so literally, no, I do fucking live, basically, I do live in a barracks, and it fucking sucks. Send all complaints to Little Whitefoot Brigade, 1989 Beetlejuice Way, Chicago, Illinois, 606.
Thank you, TLO. There you go.
Yeah, don't say the face to me. I'm sorry that Mary Lane put that by a caterer. God, I say she's worse than Scarlett. Some facts.
So did you see the comment? Did you read that?
Lately, I've been in the hospital with my heavy duty cancer. None of this stuff none of us have taken the vaccine. Then we'll quit if we have to take it. There will be a shortage of medical. Oh, shit.
That right there is what's going to happen. The medical field is going to be looked at like a bunch of snake oil salesmen. And nobody is going to trust their doctor anymore because of all this horse shit that's going on right now.
Shit, I don't even trust my doctor.
Well, I never did after they almost killed my wife from a routine partial hysterectomy. So I just don't trust the medical field. But this is not helping because money.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Fuck, I'm gonna smoke while we're fucking talking about this because I also want to show you guys something. This thing I was telling you about, Tim.
Oh, your biggest fans in the chat room. See that?
Oh no! Leave! Get out of here! I don't like you. Fuck!
It's my show. You have to share the love.
I don't have to share the love with him.
If you share it with the mayor of Chicago, you can share it with him.
Okay, so let me show you what this ID actually looks like. Here, real quick. Let me move this fucking thing out of the way. What kind of ID?
Uh-oh, he's worried about you. Boo. He's your boo.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So let's go over this batch, shall we? Real quick. Till Alicia gets on there. So this is what I have to carry every day on me. As you can tell, it has my picture on it. Has my name.
You look fat.
I am fat.
Oh, I was kidding, by the way. But you're
so my employee ID number down here, which is 2149216. And then on the back, a little late for brigade. Then it says, got this. My first one was on the 20th of June, but I had to get a duplicate, which was done on July 8th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. This card represents authorized security access to all Cedar Fair properties. Keep in your possession at all times. This card is non-transferable. Return card to your department at the end of the employment. Upon request, you must surrender this card to Cedar Fair security or management. So anytime that they security asks for my ID, which they have 3 different times, I have to turn this in. No questions asked. I just have to do it.
We must see your papers now for you to go and ride in the work hill with all the children. And you need your shot too. If you do not do it, you will be thrown into the pits of hell.
So, now, here's the thing. So when I go outside the gates, okay, so we have dorms everywhere. I'm on the 2nd floor, so which is the 2s, you have 17, you have the 1700, 17, 200s, and you have the 300s up.
Okay.
Each building is like this. We have over 2,000 employees living here, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. Let's take you off my internet real quick.
Oh, losing the signal.
Okay, so now you're going to lose me.
Yeah.
So here is what the outside of my place looks like, since you guys haven't seen me in about a month and a fucking half.
It's all pixelated.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So let me go ahead and turn my camera on.
That's me. Oh, that's really cool. My phone rings through my iMac. That's really fucking cool. Okay.
So, oh shit, wrong one. Yeet. No. Hold on. Yikes. Fuck the camera.
Is that,
you can tell this place pretty much looks like a fucking prison yard.
I was gonna say that looks like an army fucking base.
So, oh no.
There you go. Get ready for some company tonight.
So literally, I basically live in a barracks. So I'm gonna go through the dorms, barracks, whatever. Maverick, Valraven. Don't know the name of that fucking dorm.
That's probably actually Steel Vengeance.
Lightfoot.
Gatekeeper. There's that dorm down there. That's the 1300s. And then our problem there's the place where we can go buy food and shit, like right here where you see that window.
The PX.
It's called the Arc.
The Arc.
The Arc. And then, so I'm not showing people. All the way over there is where Gatekeeper and shit's at. But, Dwayne, it's the Fun MP's run, right?
Yep.
So.
Oh, there you go. Jealousy.
So, anyways, anytime I want to come in here or exit, so when I exit, I don't have to use my badge, but I have to go through one of those spinny thingies, like, I don't know, like you see at like airports and shit.
Turnstile.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to smoking. You're not allowed to smoke in here. You're not allowed to drink. You can drink in your dorms. If you want to drink outside of here, you have to exit the gate. Now, this is a bunch of bullshit. Uncle Guns, where is this? This is at Cedar Point. Okay. I'm an employee of Cedar Point, and I've been here since June 19th of this year. Okay. I pay $8 a day. I'm ignoring this. Shut up, Tim. I'm doing this for a reason.
Just you're so cute.
So, when I come out, I have to go through one of these things. It's fucking annoying because, motherfucker, I do that all the time. Smash my fucking finger. So, now here's where all the employees park. But it's so it's dangerous as shit out here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It gets dangerous out here because we have a lot of gang mentality out here. So,
super.
Last week there was a girl who had her car shot up. Literally there was a bullet hole. Two different bullets. Literally two different bullets.
Oh, sounds like Chicago.
We have people from Chicago. We have people from Detroit, Michigan. And we have people from Gary, Indiana.
Ooh.
Yes, I do work for an amusement park. To give you a little bit of statistics about the amusement park, we are 364 acres long.
That's what she said.
With over 74 different attractions, like coasters. One of them being the tallest that we have at Top Throw Dragster, going at 420 feet up in the air, going 120 miles an hour. Now, this year, we have a total of 6,000. Yes. Yeah. Uncle Guns, I'm in Ohio. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm in Sandusky. So, like I said, there's over, I think this year now, we're back up at overfill capacity of employees, which is 6,500 employees to run this park. Which is stupid. Which is insanely fucking stupid. So, I've been out here for about a month and a half now, and Tim, I'm already thinking about leaving. I'm already thinking about leaving. I'm already thinking about getting the fuck up out of here and just saying, fuck this, I'm done. Because of the fact, so I'll answer this question. It does pay well.
What?
I get paid $20 an hour as an associate.
That's good money.
As an associate, but I haven't really said this yet, and I'm going to. I've been asked to put my team leader application in for Hollow Weekends.
Oh.
I'll be a team leader in park services, making $22 an hour.
Is that before or after you play butt darts in the barracks?
That is what?
Nothing. Never mind. Okay. Good. That's cool.
But now to get to the point where this pisses me off every time I walk in this bitch, and I'll flip my camera around without them knowing.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye. Nope. That's where I draw the line.
What?
I'm going to state this out there right fucking now, and I'm going to know. Tim, I'm laying my foot down.
What?
One, you don't ever fucking call me a slave.
Oh, stop. Have some
No, I don't play that shit.
Okay, no slave calling.
Oh, she's here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. What's up,
Uh-oh.
everybody?
So now I'm going to take you guys where I have to scan this. Scarlett, this is what I was talking about, that I have to scan every time I come into the gates.
Dwayne is worth more than $30 an hour. Thank you. And I'll even stick up for Dwayne on that.
Ooh, wow. There
Just
we go.
saying. Dwayne is worth more than $30 an hour. I'm for real. Dwayne is worth more than that. Now, come on.
Oh, no, get out of here on that.
You are
I'm
worth more
about to
than that,
leave
though,
here in a
Dwayne.
Yeah, but look at that.
Look at what? I don't see nothing. Your camera is stuck.
No, look at the comment.
Oh, I can't see the comment.
Oh, there we go.
I know. I see it.
But can you guys see my camera now?
Yep.
Okay, so watch this.
Ooh, your mic went bad, though. What the hell? Not.
I have to do that every time. I have to do that every time I walk into the gate. Every time I have to scan the back of my card. And they can track where I go through here from now until I walk out that gate. Which is bullshit.
Oh, you're pixelated
Because-
even.
It's because let me get back on the Wi-Fi here in a minute, which I'm about 30 feet away from.
Yeah,
But-
it just cuts out, huh? I got
So
a
I'm
new
on-
booster for mine, so that's why everybody can see me, and it actually works for one.
So I'm on 5G. So I'm on 5G network up here. Which is
Right.
what I disagree with. All of Sandusky is 5G. Starting from the beginning of it to the end. Up through here to downtown is nothing but 5G. Also, which is why a lot of people are getting sick.
No, stop it.
Now also bronchitis is going around, and 5G on top of that isn't working so well.
Coincidence.
I've been sick
Where's
now.
that?
What, Scarlett? I've been sick for what, over 3 weeks now? Little over 3 weeks.
Something like that.
But
Been a little
yes,
bit.
they can track me anywhere I go with this. When I go in and out of the park, when I come in the commons, my social security number, my medical information is
I got
attached
it.
to this, everything. My
Yeah.
room number, everything's attached to one card. Which is bullshit, and I don't agree with
Way to
it.
track people. Yeah, because way to track people, you know what I mean? But I guess, you know, in case incidents occur or happen, they can prove where you were and this, that. So it can be good or bad.
Sounds like Minority Report to me.
See, but here's the thing, and I'm going to address this. Here's the thing with what I'm doing as custodial. I can leave here with the experience I have with working with the custodial team and get a job anywhere else that I want to. With going from just being a regular custodial.
Uncle Gus, though, Dwayne is only like 22 years old. Like, that's actually pretty good for a kid.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I just found this out
To
with
make
me,
that much money, that's good for a kid.
with me getting ready to go to TL here in the next couple months. I leave here on good terms. I have a job at a high school waiting for me as a custodian.
That's cool. And you can make good money being a custodian at school. One of my friends got into it after high school. She's been a custodian since we graduated and now is like, you know, getting to the top of her shit and getting paid big bucks for like boiler services and all that. Like, legit. It can be good money.
But mine is more, hold on.
Especially if you can end up being like head custodian and stuff, you know. Ooh, I'm glad you came back because now at least you get some better signal.
Yeah, let me pop onto the Wi-Fi real quick. Do. All right.
You lurking, TLO? Hey, TLO. I miss you.
The good thing about these dorms is they're locked and no one can get in without the room key.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. They didn't put the little card thing on that. I'm surprised.
All right. I'm back. Sorry.
Just saying. Okay. So, folks, I'm here. Okay. So it's now time to talk. All right. We've got a lot of shit going on. That's really important right now. Okay.
Are you talking about the shit I sent you
I don't even
earlier?
know where to start. We could talk about that in a minute, but that's not where I was going right this second. This week has been really intense, and I don't think people understand for the implications that is going to bring for the next few months. Now, I have some inside information from some White House officials and some people I know in government that claim middle of August, we're going back into lockdowns. Okay?
I've heard that as well.
Middle of August, we're going back.
Great.
Okay, so middle of August, we're going back. They're talking about locking down again, full lockdowns, the whole shebang day. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we're already seeing food shortages. We're already seeing product shortages, and they're telling us this is only going to increase. Okay. The biggest issue of this week, if no one takes away anything else, is the announcement that the Department of Justice made. Okay. Department of Justice, in a legal discourse briefing, okay, this week said that there is no legal challenge to vaccine mandates.
What?
No bullshit. Department of Justice. Yes, I'm not kidding, y'all. This is so fucking serious.
That's bullshit.
Department of Justice says there's no legal challenge to vaccine mandates in the public or government sectors, or private and public sector.
Then we need to start it right here, right now.
Yeah, because at this point, they're telling us that there's going to be no way to sue. And they're telling us that it's frivolous if you try to sue an employer for firing you or for requiring the coronavirus vaccine.
Well, how about I tell them to fuck off and everybody else does the same thing? And
We're going to have to.
We go on strike.
If anybody doesn't get riled up about one thing during this whole time that we've been doing this, it's now. It's now. If you have not gotten upset, you have not called your senators, you have not called people to rile the fucking hornet's nest up, it is time now. Because if we get to a point where the Department of Justice completely shuts us out and we can't even get a case heard in any circuit court, how do you ever get it to the Supreme Court to decide? You can't.
Yeah, because you can't.
And so millions of people will have no legal recourse.
Well, because
but a circuit court has to take it.
Right, that's what I was saying, Scarlett. You make a good point there. Saying that if we can't even get a civil case in the circuit court, how the hell are we going to push it to any Supreme Court justice in every state? Because each state has its own Supreme Court.
Nuremberg.
Well, yeah, and not only that, then it goes federal after that. So to go even through the federal circuit courts, they're not even going to let it go through because they say it's frivolous. So therefore, you can't even sue for that. Okay, so this is a big issue because they have pushed from, okay, it's voluntary, there won't be any mandates, to there will be mandates. And we encourage the private sector to push mandates. And we, the government, are now making mandates for all federal employees, all federal contractors, and the military. All have to have mandatory vaccines now.
I heard about the military one because my buddy's in the military.
Now, the sick part about this is when I started this journey many years ago researching this, people told me I was crazy. I've even told people on this network, wait till the adult mandates come down the pipeline. Oh, Scarlett, they can't mandate it for adults. They'll never be able to mandate it for adults. Where are we at now?
I was one of them. I'm not going to lie. I was one of them.
I know, Dwayne, and I told you, no, look, this shit's set up. This is ready to go. So that's the number one biggest issue right now, in my opinion, besides all the extra little BS, how we found out this week that, you know, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated both carry the same amount of viral load. Okay, which means that the vaccine is not doing anything at this point to reduce the viral load that the people are getting, which that was supposed to be the point, so that you didn't have as much viral load, so you didn't get as sick. That was supposed to be the whole point.
Right.
Now there's no point. Okay, so they're going to try to die on this hill, though, that this vaccine is safe and effective. It's great. It's the best thing. It's going to stop the coronavirus pandemic. But at the same time, why are countries like Australia, the UK, and now even in Massachusetts, why are most of the people hospitalized vaccinated?
Well, here's a point I want to make to you. So I have insiders outside that's in Australia, right?
All right.
They're in lockdown for their third time. Complete lockdown. I know a couple Australian Facebook gamers that I'm actually really close with that I talk outside of there.
Right.
They're not even allowed to go sit down at a restaurant. And the UK is still slowly even opening up. You know, I'm not going to say names of who they are.
That's a good point, Uncle Guns. Ooh, that's a good point. You're right though. It'll disappear until they institute something like a debtor's prison again, or something like that, where it can hold against you. And then here comes these little quarantine concentration FEMA camps. Done.
Well, okay. So good thing you mentioned that, Scarlett, because I want to bring this up, right? I think it's in Switzerland. Don't quote me on this, but I watched the video of it. It was on Facebook. I think I called and told you about it. There's this couple that I follow on Facebook. They were put in a COVID-19 hospital. And this is as of late, it's like a week and a half ago.
Okay.
It's not even a hospital. It is a hotel that's been turned into a COVID hospital. A COVID-19 quarantine hospital. Shitty conditions. No running water. Nothing like that.
No.
In this hotel room. The water, if it does run, probably runs about that much as a stream. Not even a full stream of it. Which is bullshit. Because we even saw...
And they did that in the beginning, too. Remember all the little, quarantine facilities they put people in, like in Japan and shit, and they weren't giving them no soap, and all the people who came from what was it, the Diamond Princess? Remember all those people? And they had them all locked up in their rooms, wouldn't even give them soap, didn't have even a way to wash their hands, and then they're wondering how the coronavirus is spreading. Hello?
Well, because here's the thing, we saw that prison be made back in... They started in December, and it was done by January. Like what was it, Scarlett? The middle of December?
No, coronavirus did not come out in the United States lexicon until about January 15th was the first time it was mentioned. And that wasn't like the main places it was mentioned either.
No, I'm talking about the one that was built in China. The one that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was what started in the middle of December and done by the beginning of January.
That was like when England was locked back down again and stuff. Yeah. That's
Like,
true. But
guys, wake the fuck up. And the Department of Justice has came out with a training class for officers who has came out and said that we're going to start doing a roundup in quarantining unvaccinated people.
Yeah.
yes. And they're already doing rural training, especially in rural areas. They have special rural training to then take out all the rural people.
Like, guys, wake the fuck up.
Are you going to comply with another fucking lockdown?
If another lockdown, I'm out of a fucking job again.
People out here who watch on Freedom Revolution Network, will you tolerate another lockdown?
I won't. I'll be out of a fucking job.
Because I mean, and you got to get ready for that, Dwayne, because that's probably what it's going to be next. Think about it. Oh, all Cedar Point employees must be vaccinated. That's going to be the next shit.
Yep.
Oh no, I'll go home. I'll leave.
Yeah. If they do, I would. I'm serious. Because you know what? If enough people stand up and say, look, we're not going to tolerate this. We will not comply. We will not play games. Now, at least DeSantis' ass came out today and was like, no. We're not playing with this. But what will they do to people like DeSantis? What will they do to people like Florida?
Give them COVID.
Not only that, they'll probably start cutting federal funding and.
Yep. And then we'll have to secede from the union.
Exactly. That's where I was going next, Tim, because we had that conversation on the phone earlier off air.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because there's a few states who are willing to stand up. For instance,
South Dakota being one of them.
South Dakota. Hell yeah. I was just about to say South Dakota being one of them.
Texas.
Okay, Florida.
Yep.
Texas has kind of went back and forth, you know.
Yeah, but they told them today to shove the mask mandate up their ass.
Yeah, he did. And Abbott's tired of this shit, though, because they, you know, I don't blame them. You know, they're probably tired of being jerked around and told, well, if you don't do this, we'll get rid of you. At a certain point, if I was a person in office at this time in life, I would be like, you know what? Fuck it, balls to the walls. Get rid of me then, because we ain't doing this.
Nope.
Scarlett and Tim for president 2024.
I'm just saying, though, I can run then. I can run, Tim. You want to run?
Sure.
Let's do it. Here for it.
Because
then I could run on president, and people like that idea.
You can be president, and
you could be my vice president.
You're not going to be the dumb black VP bitch.
No, see, I'm not doing that. That's why I said I got to be on top on the ticket, because I can't. No, we ain't doing. She like come out. No. We're not doing that.
Let me point something out to you guys that is kind of local here, but it goes to this particular events, right?
Yeah,
3 weeks ago, Governor Dickwine, I love saying that name. Governor Dickwine came out and said that they're not going to do another lockdown.
Good.
He said
all these other Democratic governors are agreeing. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if Minnesota will fall or not, and I'm going to tell you why. And if we do fall, it'll be after Labor Day, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Walz has sat here this whole summer and been like, get your vaccine and we'll have the state fair. Because the state fair is a big deal here. Okay? Like, you know, during our state fair, for the 10 days we're open, we get like 10 million people, like 10 million unique visitors throughout the time. About 1 million or less, give or take a day. Shit. We only have a population of like 5 million people.
Shit, I went to the one in 2018.
So it's like, here's the deal. He's not going to lock us back down because it would be political suicide. And I'm not kidding, because even the most liberal of liberals are not playing. They want the fair back. Well, and so if he tries to, because the rumor is it's going to be the second week of August that we're going to start seeing these. The fair doesn't start till the end of August. He's not going to lock back down. If he knows what's good for him, if he locks back down, he has lost the election. period. And he's not going to do that. He's not. There's no
That's
way.
not the case.
Because next year is I think it's not this year, but next year is the gubernatorial race.
Well, because here's the thing, Scott, and I wanted to mention this to you too. Because me and you are in the same circuit.
Yeah, what?
Region? We're in the same region.
What, the FEMA?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in the same FEMA region, correct.
We are in the same FEMA region. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll run my ass to South Dakota so I can be in that other fucking region real quick, or North Dakota real quick. I ain't that far away.
Right, but watch this, and I want to make a point to people.
Because then at least maybe me and Red could be locked up,
So
together, just saying.
So watch this. Shortly after our lockdown, Ohio's lockdown ended. 2 weeks before that, Minnesota's ended.
Remember we were in that little Midwest partnership group with you guys.
We're still in that, from what I found out.
Yeah. But nobody's talking about that anymore, but they put us all in these little coalition groups or whatever.
But here's my thing, Scarlett. Have you seen whatever decisions Ohio is making that's being backed off of Minnesota?
That is true, though. I have noticed that, actually. I have noticed that either Dwight does it first and then Walz does it, or Walz does it first and then Dwight does it. But they are very in sync with how they are picking this shit. That is true. I will give you that.
So, my thing is, and I've kind of noticed that with Tim's, too.
Now, DeSantis is on point, though, like, to some degree. Like, he's been at least out there and saying, look, we're not masking the kids again. We're not locking down again. We're not doing any of that. It's about personal, I forgot how he said it, but it was like personal responsibility, basically.
Fuck yeah.
It's up to individuals to take care of themselves.
That's right.
Exactly.
Ooh, what'd you have for dinner, Casimiro?
But here's my thing.
Fried chicken.
I always ask everybody what they have for dinner. So, I mean, that's just, if you tell me you just got done eating, I'm going to ask you, ooh, what did you eat?
Oh, by the way, Scarlett, are you going to fire me and Tim yet?
Maybe. Because you know what? Fuck you, Tim. I had the chicken. I wasn't even going to eat chicken tonight. I was going to eat pizza. And then I was like, oh, bring me some chicken home. And then you go talk about, is you eating fried chicken? I can't stand you.
My comment was worse.
I can't stand Tim, y'all. I'm for real. Like but you know what? That just shows how good of friends we are because he knows.
So wait a minute. I mean, I added the last two on there. Where the fuck was the watermelon and the purple Kool-Aid?
I'm just saying, like, well, because I don't drink Kool-Aid, because Kool-Aid has chemicals in it. Okay.
Oh, what the fuck ever?
I don't drink Kool-Aid. I will mess with the Aldi brand of Kool-Aid though, because they don't have any like artificial colors in it.
That's what I get. Yeah.
Cool.
So I will do. You should get that too. Like if Dean drinks Kool-Aid at all, get that shit because it's at least better for kids. Yeah, because there's no dyes and shit. Because the dyes make the kids crazy. Like I don't mind a little sugar water for kids that got a little flavoring in it. It's not going to kill a child. But all those dyes and shit. That shit's bad. It's bad news.
Casimiro had bacon with rice and beans and enchiladas.
Ooh, that sounds good. Bacon with rice. I wouldn't have thought of putting bacon with rice. How you cook it? You just like put it in there after you cook the bacon, or you cook it like fried rice, like in the bacon grease? How are we doing that? I'm interested now.
I want to make a point out
our air quality is super bad here too.
That's where I was about to say it's the same.
Hold on, let me go show y'all. I'm about to go inside and show y'all because it is really bad and you can see it. So hold on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I mean, fucking with Canada's wildfires, Scarlett, because I've been exposed to direct lung, like my lungs have been exposed to direct fire because of the air pollution here, because of Canada's wild. Oh my fucking god! Yeah.
Can you see it, you guys? You see it?
Yeah.
That's smoke. You can usually see the lake, but that is actually smoke.
Is that a dog?
That's Buck. Say hey, Buck. Say hello to everyone. Buck. Say hi, Buck. Say
Buck is cool.
hello. Hi, Buck. There's a Buck. Say hello.
No, we're losing you.
Yeah, you gotta go back. Go back.
Go back. See the smoke? See the smoke?
Is that from California?
No, that's from
No,
Canada.
Oh, okay.
It gets
Yeah, it's
like that
Canadian
up here
wildfire
sometimes.
smoke.
Tim, it gets like that sometimes up here on the lake, dude. Sometimes, like with me being right here, you know what? I'm gonna take y'all somewhere.
Okay.
Y'all gonna come with me for a minute.
So
I'm gonna
there's
take you
that. But like even the front yard, Tim, all you can see is smoke. Like you can't even see the sky.
I'm gonna take y'all to a spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna take y'all to a pretty cool spot, and I might have to do a call in, Tim. I might have to call in because if my phone gets down to like 30, I'll call in. But that actually kind of hurt. So let me grab my ID.
All right, Scarlett, so what do we do? Do we fight this and tell them to fuck off and not comply or what?
We have to.
I mean, we have to at this point, Tim. I mean, I agree
We
with
have to.
Scarlett. Yeah,
There's no other choice. Like this is the last stand, the last bastion because look, the CDC already has a full adult schedule. Okay. They already have a full adult schedule set up and ready. And I will actually get that together because I want to start doing more shows, but I got to start moving here soon. So it's like, I don't even know what we're going to do yet. So I got to see if the bank even approves it. It's a whole shit show of my life right now. Okay. We're trying to buy a house. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do. So send out all the good vibes. I've been trying to raise a little bit of money to help me out with that. People have been really generous. I've raised about $1,500. It's been good. But we got to get the hell out of here because shit has went crazy, you guys. Like I'm living in like Twilight Zone, cuckoo, la la land. Okay.
Yes,
like
the fuck. You haven't,
dude,
girl. In the times I've talked to you, you haven't put it in better fucking terms than that.
Twilight Zone, cuckoo, la la world. Yes, I'm telling you, it makes no sense. And so the guy we live with has basically went crazy and lost his mind. And so we have to leave, okay? Because I'm not staying here with craziness. Okay, I don't do that. We don't do that.
Where are we going? I'm going Bayside. You come?
I don't play that. So we've got to get the hell out of here soon. Hopefully, so everybody put the good vibes out here that the bank will approve the house, and then we'll have our own homestead, and it'll be great. We'll have our own homestead, and it'll be great.
So, if you want help come January on the property, I'll come stay for a month.
Okay, come stay with me, Dwayne. I'm gonna hold you to that shit too.
You just gotta help me with the way down there.
I'll get you. We'll figure it out. I'll at least pay half or something. We'll figure it out.
But I'm gonna take you to a spot.
Maybe TLO would pay for the other half, and then we'll get you down there too.
Right. So here's the thing. So since we're on the fire, the whole fire subject thing. So with me being right in the lake, and I'm gonna show you guys how close I am to the lake. It's like a 10-minute walk.
Is it to Lake Erie?
Here, yeah, I'm walking.
Did you know that, like where Evie's at? Like she's at the beginning of like Lake Erie.
Hold on, I'm taking a walk down there.
She said she's only 10 minutes from Ohio, where she lives.
Then she must be on the Michigan border of Ohio.
She is. She's right there. But she said that she's only 10 minutes. Like they go into Ohio regularly.
TLO went like that is a thought.
I'm just saying.
Scarlett, I might talk to Julia and see if she'll let me bring baby Dean down with me. Oh, Tim left. Where'd Tim go?
How are we gonna lose Tim?
Well, we got us. We got the dynamic duo. But here, I'm gonna take y'all to my favorite spot. But this is where this place gets tricky sometimes, right? Because of me being so close now to the Canadian border than I thought I was, you can take Lake Erie straight out into Canada. There's Tim.
Sorry.
So you can take Lake Erie straight into the Canadian borders, which I think is really cool. I did the map work on it. Me and TLO the one night did. Scarlett, Are you still there?
Everybody's back.
All right, so I'm gonna walk y'all down to what we call Bayside.
Okay.
So it's my little meditation place. It's where I go for sanity and peace.
That's good. You picked a place like that, Dwayne. That's really good.
As we all know, Dwayne hasn't had much peace in his life living where I used to live.
No, that's true. Yeah, everybody's been dealing with it. I mean, I don't know anybody who's not going through the shit right now, to be honest.
Shit. And I'm gonna be honest, being 2 hours away from my baby mom is fucking amazing.
I'm
Ain't gonna
sure
lie.
it is. Because you don't have to deal with all that because she can do, man, please. I bet.
So
What?
it's gonna get dark and y'all might not be able to see me as well.
Why, you're black?
Hey, Pat. What's up, Pat?
What up, Pat? Hey, it's my boy.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh shit.
This is not a test. This
Oh,
is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge.
Come on, Tim, you can't do this. You ain't going down here, man.
Have been authorized for use.
I don't want to walk down here now, man. Come on, dude.
Of ranking 10 have been granted immunity.
Shut that off, dude. Come on. I'm walking down here in the
That
pitch
is
dark.
what it's like, though, right now. Like, no bullshit. That's where we're getting. We're almost to that level.
Yes, we are.
Because with something like this virus that they've got everybody like deathly afraid of, it might eventually push people over the edge. I'm surprised we haven't seen it more yet. But it's going to start pushing. I wouldn't be surprised to start hearing about family members getting killed over like not taking the vaccine and shit.
Okay.
I would.
I want to say something.
Where's the shot?
Because Tim did it. Tim fucking sparked it. Fuck you, Tim. Fuck you. I don't know why you did that. So me and Tim have recently went and watched the Forever Purge.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you this: that shit is more realistic than I would ever. I was on the edge of my fucking seat.
That's how I felt during all the Purge movies, though. I see how we could get to that point.
This one's different.
No,
Is
this
it?
was completely different. Let me explain. So, we know how the Purge is only supposed to last from 7
I thought you
p.m.
get 12 hours. 12 hours was the Purge originally.
12 hours, right.
It's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is when the alarms go on and off.
Right.
So, no. After 7 a.m., it didn't stop.
Oh.
And it wasn't regular purging. It was white supremacy to the fullest. No political bullshit involved. None.
Nope.
Oh, so that was literally just like white folks going out killing black folks.
To save the country. Yep.
White folks, not just killing black folks. Hold on, Scarlett.
There we go.
Hold on. It wasn't just black folk. It wasn't just black folk.
Nope.
It was Mexican folk. It was Puerto Rican.
So any minority.
If you weren't 100% white at the skin, you were dead.
Right. Yeah, see, and they're perpetuating this because they want one of these ideas to stick hold.
Stay safe. Dude,
So I think
okay,
they're
I'm gonna say
doing
this.
it.
I'm gonna say this real quick. When you can make friends with the security guards up here, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, because you're less likely to get in trouble.
Yeah. Good point.
Look.
Or if some shit pops off, they might be more willing to help you.
Oh, dude, when I almost got my ass beat, dude, I almost got jumped by like 9 people.
Did you really, Dwayne? Man, see, look, that's why I can't deal with the general public.
See, now look.
Yeah.
There's this one fucking huge. He's big. He's like in his 40s. His name is Officer Bullers. Don't fuck with him. Don't. He will beat the ever living shit. He will take his shirt off and beat the shit out of you.
Right.
All right.
Hey,
So,
this is a family show, man.
Groceries this fresh? It's not just
Hang on.
delivery. Kroger
Hang on.
delivery.
I can't help that.
Stream the Tokyo
I
Olympics.
can't help that either. Hang on a minute.
Keep up with every
Lord
record.
All right. Shut that off, Tim. Tim. Fuck off, you fucking. Damn you. Fuck off.
Don't get scared, Dwayne.
Don't be.
You gotta be about it. What you gonna do when this shit really gets real, Dwayne? You gonna be all scared? Come on now.
This is practice. Kill the white guy.
Here, I'm also gonna put me in a solo layout so you guys can see it better.
I gotta look. Oh yeah. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're getting close.
So as that background you can see back there, that's the park.
Oh, okay.
So
that's cool how you can see it like that.
But this is my favorite part about this shit, bro.
I see the water now.
It's literally, I can walk right down here. Hold on, I gotta look and make sure there's no snakes and shit down here. Give me a second. All right, there we go.
And we're looking at what?
Lake Erie.
Oh.
Yeah,
right here, bro.
That's Lake Erie.
I can live right here. Watch this. Hold on.
Well, can you put your foot in? Yeah, put your foot in, Lake Erie.
Jump.
He ain't go jump.
I can't swim, Tim.
Hmm.
Here, look. I can literally, if I want to. Hold on, I gotta hold my phone so it don't fall in.
Yeah, don't let the phone fall in. Ooh, look.
Watch out for the sharks.
Ooh.
But, bro, this is where I come and sit every fucking night, dude.
Nice.
I get a nice view of the lake. Right there's the lake. I gotta make sure there's no water boxes.
The lake is beautiful, though. I've never seen Erie. I've seen, obviously, Superior, but that's the only other Great Lake I've seen. Have you seen any Great Lakes, Tim?
Bro, and I just sit right here, and I'll bring my guitar down with me, and I'll meditate.
You know, and that's probably very peaceful and calming, and the lights look cool off the water. You know how it's glistening.
Yeah, so up there, that's the bridge going to Lake Erie, and all the way up there's the park.
That's cool.
This is literally one of the best things about just being able to come out here, relax, kick back, and just kind of be you.
Well, yeah, and that's the nice part about as you get older, you start appreciating smaller things like that. Like, oh, I have a place to sit by the lake to just, collect my thoughts and think.
It's collecting my thoughts, getting away from life.
Right. Resetting your mental boundaries,
Yeah, bull shark. They're called bull sharks, TLO.
Oh, what?
He's saying
freshwater shark? Yeah.
Now, there is one bad thing about being down here.
There are a few freshwater sharks, though, actually. No, that is true. There are some freshwater sharks. Not all sharks are saltwater. I found this out myself.
Yeah.
Somebody had brought it up on Facebook or something in a group or in a comment, and I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, no, go look it up. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, the bull
And
shark.
then some sharks don't have like all cartilage, and some actually have bones too. Like we were always told sharks are all cartilage. Not all sharks have full cartilage. Some have bones.
No, hold on. I want to show you this. Every fucking time I come down here, there's this motherfucker that sits on the other fucking side of me. Wrong camera.
Yeah.
It's you.
All the fucking time. That fucking crane over there, right fucking there, that little bitch is down here every time I come down here. Like, this little fucker follows us everywhere we fucking go.
They watch you, Dwayne. You're popular.
Everywhere.
Okay, second thing that we're going to talk about, okay, is this weird uptick in beheadings in Minnesota.
What?
Yes,
What?
Tim. There has been 5 different cases in the last month
Well, it's because you got all those Muslims up there.
of dismemberings and or beheadings, okay? Accumulating with the most recent one in Shakopee, where a man literally beheaded his girlfriend in broad daylight. Beheaded her in broad daylight.
Yeah.
People videoed it and got it on camera. I've seen one of the videos. It's fucked up. Okay. You watch
Yeah.
him pull her body out of the car. You don't have a head at first, right? And then you notice all this blood, and then you see him grab something off the ground and bring it towards the back seat, and you knew it was a head instantly. Because it was just hair. Because she had really big, her name was America, and she had really big, beautiful, blonde, curly hair, like a big afro.
Okay.
And he literally beheaded her in broad daylight.
Tila this said this time it wasn't my work.
Oh, you silly. They have sharks in lakes in Nicaragua? What, Grant? See, look. No. That's a whole lot of nope right there. But I want to know what's driving this. So I've been thinking about it. Is it just, the climate of today? We do know that the grand solar minimum, when we start getting the effects of cosmic rays, can start driving people literally insane. Is it that? Because we know that's going to be constantly increasing. Is it the atmospheric compression that then is affecting people down on the ground? What the hell is it? Because why in the last month, literally 4 weeks, we have had 5 different fucking beheadings and or dismemberments? The first one was a guy that they cut up all his body and put it all over the city, including like his head on a park bench one place and his arms and legs everywhere else, all over fucking Minneapolis. The second guy, I forget what happened with him, but they found him like cut up or whatever. The third guy they found in Lake Superior, which that's why it reminded me of it, because you're at Erie, so that reminded me of this. And they cut him up, and the guy ended up finding somebody who he could go out with a commercial fishing boat and told him that he needed to dump some of his grandma's things, but then changed the story and said, I'm dumping a dog, and dumped this guy in like 2 5-gallon buckets and a plastic tote into Lake Superior. And the fisherman was able to tell the police where he dropped it. And then they recovered it and found it was this other guy literally chopped up into pieces.
Okay, so let me back, because we've had the same issue here with dismemberment up here.
What?
Yeah, not beheadings, but there's been people finding like oil drums up here.
Yeah, and this has all been in the last 4 weeks, literally. So I don't know what the hell is going on, but something has to be in the air because it's not all the same person. It's different people doing this crime.
It's the purge.
I have an idea.
What do you think it is?
Defunding the police. Let's do that. That'll work.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about how great that works? Let's talk about how great that works. So in Washington State, okay, there was this man who stole a vehicle. Well, now due to their new detaining laws, you're not allowed to pursue anybody.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you're no longer to pursue them anymore. You cannot use force to take them down either. So somehow you have to coerce a criminal into going with you somehow. Unless they commit a felony right in front of your eyes, but it cannot be on presumption. So you cannot be there arresting them for a warrant or other crimes and then think you're just going to come in and take them down. They'd have to do something in front of you to warrant the takedown. And so they're not allowed to chase them either. No pursuits now. So dude literally ended up killing somebody because they can't pursue him. Yeah. So that's how defunding the police is working in Washington State now. So that's awesome.
Yep. Perfect.
And they have one of the most comprehensive defunding bills in the country that basically took all police's power away. They can't do anything. Now, should they be going out whooping and beating on people? No, but they have to have some authority. Jesus.
Yeah, shoot to kill.
Because we can't police ourselves. It'd be different if everybody could police themselves and they've been taught that from a young age, but we know that that's not what we live in, so we can't expect those type of results in the greater, larger community. But wow. So it's Minneapolis is supposed to be voting this fall on defunding the police. How you going to vote, TLO? So,
I mean,
it's wild.
I know how.
Yeah, and you know the USGS always is downgrading earthquakes. We know this. Like that's their specialty. We downgrade earthquakes. But I'm gonna explain why I don't think that it was a 9.5 like Ron and Terry claim. I do believe it was larger than an 8.2, but I do not believe that it was a 9.5, and I'm going to explain why. Because now I know not every earthquake will generate a wave, but the wave sign signature that the National Data Buoy Center was giving off that night, because I even thought about coming on, y'all. I really did. I was going to come on because I was up and I was following it. Don't think I've been asleep on anything since I've been gone. I was watching it and covering it, and I'm watching the Data Buoy Center, and I'm watching the sine waves. Literally, like every buoy across the Pacific was in alert mode. Every buoy across the Pacific was in alert mode. Or event mode, as they call it. I've never seen that very often unless you get a big ringer. And the fact that we got no wave outside of a small, less than 1 foot wave in Alaska, it just makes me feel like it wasn't quite over a 9. Now, was it maybe like an 8.8? Was it maybe like an 8.7? Absolutely. But I just don't think if it was a 9 that we wouldn't have saw at least some form of wave outside of the little small area Alaska that actually had a wave, and it would have been larger than 1 foot because they literally started warning everybody across the Pacific. And the way that they were posturing it during the updates, they were making it seem like they were expecting for sure a wave. So was there a wave that they just don't want to talk about? I don't know. Does anybody know? I would mean we'd have to find somebody who has the information. But what I do think is that we're in the front side alignment with this brown dwarf system. And we came to the front side alignment almost 5 weeks early. Okay. We're also been moving almost 5 miles a month, magnetic pole north. Every month we've been moving faster. And we found out that the Earth has slowed down in some of the rotation sense.
Uh-oh.
So it's like the largest decrease. Now it's only by milliseconds, but it's the largest decrease we've seen in some time. So I believe with all that connected, and NASA believes in the next week that we're supposed to get a large pulse hitting Earth. I think between that and the front side alignment being ahead of schedule, this is why we're seeing this large activity. Because if we remember back past few years, we've been having extreme activity around this time of year, early August. You think about the Ridgecrest quakes, all these larger ones that we've had have been around this time of year during the front side alignment, because this has to do with Planet X, Planet 9, whatever you want to call it, Nibiru, whatever. But it's the brown dwarf binary system that is pulling on Earth, pulling us out of orbit, pulling the sun out of orbit, as well as dealing with the effects of the grand solar minimum and having more cosmic ray flux coming in as our magnetosphere is waning and literally getting assaulted by waves that it can't recover from. The jet stream is 5,000 different ways. This is why our weather is all crazy and unpredictable. The jet stream is just doing whatever it wants now. No one's ever seen this shit before. The jet stream's actually even moving backwards. No one knows how to explain this. This is why the weather is stuck. And we're having atmospheric compression at high levels that we've never seen before. Basically like little vortexes, like we used to see the polar vortex be in the winter, but now we're seeing it in the summertime. This is why my state has been 90 degrees for the past 3 fucking months. I'm so hot here, you guys, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of every day being 90 degrees. I did not sign up to live in Texas, okay? I did not sign up for it to be 95, 90, 99 degrees every day. 88 degrees. I didn't sign up for that. I don't live here for that. Okay, I would like a few 65-degree days during the summer. That's what we get here in Minnesota. Get some 65-degree summer days. Okay, that's nice. Get some 75-degree days. That's really nice. Get some 80-degree days. Okay, that's cool. We go swimming. But this 90 degrees every day, I'm over it. I'm ready for winter, y'all. Because I'm over it.
Oh, shut up. No, you're not. You're going to be bitching during the winter.
No, I won't. Not this year. Not this year. Maybe if we get a fuck ton of snow, I'll bitch. But other than that, I will not be bitching about the cold as much this year. Now, I won't say at all, but I will say as much because no, this summer I will remember this and how miserable and terrible it has been.
Bro, I'm going to get that phone call from
That's
you.
what I mean. Casimiro, don't you live in Arizona? Okay, and all summer here has been 90 degrees. I don't live in Arizona. Like, I shouldn't have to deal with that every day. And we've had no humidity either, which has been really weird because usually we're like hot soup when it gets hot out here. But Tim, we've had like 20% humidity up here, Tim.
That's Colorado. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yep.
20% humidity, hot. I don't even know what to do with that.
Enjoy
Like,
it.
I'm used to like, now the other day it was like almost 100 and super soupy. And I'm like, oh, this is what we're used to. Like, you know, because I mean, that's what usually happens. It feels like tropical rainforest and it's hot as shit. And you go outside and your skin just like sweats instantly because it's the moisture.
Like here. Yep.
Hey, guys,
Yeah, like
I have
Florida.
to
I was just about to say, like,
I'll be right
all right.
BRB.
So, Dwayne, I'll be the wind beneath your wings. I don't know. Dwayne does not find. Have you ever had a man? What was I gonna say? He is not amused by him, but I am. That's
Yeah,
all.
him too. Yep.
Okay, that's all. He is not amused, but I am.
Well, good. Then we can put it up there.
Yeah. See, Dwayne the Babe Johnson. See, look.
Yeah.
Yep. See, he
Mhm.
loves him some Dwayne.
Nothing wrong. Love is love. It doesn't
Love
matter.
is love. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. See, I'm here for it. So just saying.
There you go.
But I'm very concerned about this weather thing, though, because we've never seen anything like this in the history of Earth. So we do not know what this means. We also do not know how to forecast weather now, and nobody wants to admit it. Like, I've been hearing in meteorological circles that, like, people are just shutting down when being confronted, asked about it.
There's a shocker.
Right? And it is a shocker though, because usually meteorological people are willing to talk about just about anything in meteorology.
Mm-hmm.
There's no topic that's usually taboo, but now you want to talk about the jet stream and why the jet stream isn't coming and dipping down and moving up the way it used to. Like, there is no straight jet stream anymore. Like, there used to be a jet stream that went across like Oregon and dip down and then would come back up somewhere around Minnesota and then would dip back down as the lows and highs came through. And there was like a steady trough of pressure that you could watch and watch it go up or down, you know, wherever it ended up being at. Well, that doesn't exist anymore.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's gone. Oh, let me get you some. After the show, I will get you a ton of info and I will show you that shit's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that shit's gone. It doesn't exist. Like, we used to have that. Like, you used to look at weather maps on the news at night and they would show you, oh, watch this high and watch the jet stream come in. They don't even talk about the jet stream no more because they don't even know what the hell's going on, because now there's like 7, 8, 12 different jet streams all around the world. Like I said, some jet streams are moving backwards. There's no rhyme or reason for this. And that is why we're seeing more and more and more extreme weather.
That's scary.
Yep, because this is why, like, Germany and like the UK and like in Europe flooded, you know, because these troughs are sitting over them and then going slow and moving slow and just staying over them. You know, the whole East Coast, even where kind of you're at, has been just getting bombed with rain every day this monsoon season, like extra.
Yeah, it's rained every day here.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys do have a monsoon season, so that's somewhat normal. But I mean, it's stretching up all the way into like South Carolina, North Carolina, and up the coast.
Huh.
Yeah, where they've gotten like way above average rain. Whereas places here where I am, they just came out with the map this past week that showed some of the areas in Minnesota even have gotten less rain than Death Valley this month.
What?
Yes. We've only had it rain.
Huh.
That's it.
Okay.
There's no rain.
No rain.
The grass has been crunchy for like months.
Where there?
Yeah. There's no grass in anyone's field. No farmer, nothing. Everything's brown, dead. Unless you have an irrigator, everything's dead. We've had no rain. And I mean not a drop.
Yeah,
Not
Illinois
a
is.
drop.
Yep.
And now it's so dry that even when rain comes close to us, it just fucking disappears because it's so dry. The atmosphere just sucks it all up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we're not even getting rain now. So now we're getting stuck in this pattern of no rain, extreme drought, basically. Like, we've had maybe, at least up here where I live, we've probably had less than 2 inches of rain in the past 2 months. And we usually get like 5 inches of rain a month at this time of year.
So are you in a drought?
So my concern, we're in extreme drought up here. That's why Biden actually met with Governor Walz today and other governors from the West Coast fires. We also have the fires in Canada that are affecting us here. He talked to him about the fires and the drought today, actually, about getting relief for the farmers, because it's really bad. Like, we needed to intervene like a month ago or so, because we're getting up to harvest and there ain't gonna be shit to harvest. I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be a bunch of places where there ain't shit to harvest around here, especially like North Dakota, South Dakota too. That this whole area is in drought, and I think there might be something to that. Now, I can't prove that it's like geoengineering or anything, but I'm just saying, what's one way you hit everybody below the belt? Well, you kill out the grain belt.
Food, yeah.
The food, when the food supplies and the shortages are already at their highest they've ever been. Supply chains, there's literally an article in the Daily Mail last week that was talking about the 2-week warning for the UK because the supply chain is about to collapse, Tim. They said collapse. Not slow down, not be halted, collapse.
Uh-oh.
They told people, do not go and panic buy, but in 2 weeks, you will not have as much food available to purchase.
Walmart's already running out of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Targets, Dollar Generals, I've seen literally empty shelves all over the country starting over again, like we saw during the pandemic. This is not good.
Nope.
The last 2 years, you guys know I have been with you telling you about all the food and crop losses. Crop losses in the beginning were one of my specialties that I kept up on a lot. I actually need to watch the farm report to catch back up and see where we're at with this, like Ag Day or something, because we're at the point where we've already had 2 years of really bad harvest, really bad production, and especially with COVID, halted a lot of production of a lot of things. So think about how much food, how many animals, how much shit actually went bad during that time that they just don't want to talk about, how many animals they killed, all of these things, to where there is an irreversible hole in the food chain. And because logistics were at the top of its game at the time this shit went down, how do you rebuild a logistics system that took you 50 fucking years to build? How do you, like, it got halted overnight. You can't just restart it and expect it to be a well-oiled machine again.
Like in specifics to the supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
And logistics in general.
Right.
Like how it works, you know what I mean? How you get it from a factory to the next place, to the next place, to the next place. Like all that was a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine that has now been turned on its head. In every industry, every sector, doesn't matter. You're not untouched by this.
Yeah, in my industry, it's hard to find parts. Can't find parts.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yep.
I've been hearing, especially like switchboards and stuff, like the electronic parts of HVAC, hard to find.
Yep.
Back order type deals.
Yeah.
And long back order waits.
Even equipment you can't find.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, it is like the day after tomorrow, TLO. Hey, buddy. I missed you. Hello, hello.
Yeah. She's in her bug out van.
It's at this point. I mean, I'm very concerned. Yeah, you should stock up on pet food because I've heard there's a pet food shortage. So to all my pet owners, pet moms and dads out there, please get your pets an extra bag of food or two. Just put it up. Okay? Or at least think about foods you could buy for your pet, like maybe some rice, dried vegetables, dried meat that you could make like a little mixture for your dog. Because you could feed them like dried meat, and make rice and like peas or something and carrots and corn and feed that to your dog if you were to run out. But just think about what you're going to do if pet food runs out, because they're talking about pet food shortages. That's been the biggest thing lately.
Got to take care of your pets.
Well, peanuts are good, actually, Grant. That would be a good food to prepare with. But peanuts do go bad eventually, but there's a lot of things you could do with them. Make peanut butter, roast them.
Peanut butter.
They said like George Washington Carver said there's like so many different fats that you actually can create from peanuts, You get peanut oil, you can still cook food with, there's a lot of things you can do with it. So peanuts actually would be good. It is almost like Mad Max though. Like if it keeps like being drought and like all this other shit, it's about to turn into Mad Max. Because all I see around here is just clouds of dust now. Anytime anybody hits a dirt road, because literally there's been no rain forever. That is just poof, cloud of dust everywhere. It's so bad, you guys. We're getting to a critical point in critical mass where everybody needs to start thinking about locally or largely what we're going to start to do in our individual areas. I'm actually going to be going to a little class group of people that we're going to try to figure out how we're going to create, if we have to, membership-based clubs across the country or whatever we're going to have to do to get through this, because they are going to come full tilt. Next, it's going to be grocery store chains and other people saying you can't come in without the vaccine.
I was just going to say, do I need a vaccination card to get in the community?
Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh, I've got something good for you.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can pull it up.
And she's gone. Scarlett. Did you pay your phone bill?
Well, it didn't let me, but
there you are.
Okay. Oh, no, it's not going to let me.
Well,
I want to read it. Okay, but I'm going to put it in the comment. Oh, shit, I can't put it in the comments. Shit, Tim, I'm going to text it to you so you can put it in the comments.
Okay. Text it to me. Hang on. Oh, and I'll get my text on my computer. That's very cool.
I know I've been missing my whole little FRN family, you guys. It's been really hard. Things have just been shit this year. I don't even know how to function in life anymore. Like, I'm getting back to normal, though. I'm going to say that. Like, my mindset has shifted, but it's hard losing my dad and transitioning through all this shit. And then now I got crazy fucking psychos over here.
No.
And, fucking Steve losing his fucking mind and shit, Like, I never expected that. So, like, he's just, like, totally flipped a 180. And, like, I had to get a restraining order on him, y'all. Y'all don't even know this, but I had to go out and get a restraining order on him. And then when we go to court, he wants to sit and lie to the judge about everything. Okay. But the judge eventually saw through his bullshit, because when questioned, he could not come up with a straight story consistently. Okay. So then we got that extended and granted besides just temporary, and it's good until 2022. So if I didn't want to, if it takes that long to get out of here, I could be here for a year, because he doesn't seem interested to try to go to eviction court. And even if he does, I don't think they're going to make us leave. Because the amount of things he has lied on invalidate any argument he has. So, because we have witnesses to our agreement, unlike him. So, I've been going through all these things. So it's fine. I've been going to do, like, we'll have to talk about this in a future show, but I've been going to ketamine therapy. I've been doing that, and that's been going really well. So I've been trying to just get slowly back on track, but it's just been a real hard process. I'm not going to lie. It's been shit. I'm trying. Well, I've heard they already are. You know, they arrested that doctor in California. Did you get my text? No? I did send it. It's from The Hill. And if you want to read that, we need to read that because this needs to be read. Please read it.
I'm trying to do more than that. Here we go. I'm going to share it in the chat room because it's right here. Hang on. Okay, so this is what's sent me.
This article is fucked. And mind you, this article is written by a former U.S. Undersecretary of Secretary of State and Housing and Development. Tim will tell us the actual title at the end of the article when he's done reading it. But mind you, this isn't just some opinion-making talking head. This is somebody who's worked in the government and so understands how these things could be implemented. And I feel like they're just telling us what they're getting ready to do in this. So
would you like me to read it?
Go ahead, Tim. I would.
Okay. And I shared it in the chat room. Is it in there?
It is.
Okay. So everybody playing at home can read this too. All right. So this is off thehill.com. It's time we had safe havens for vaccinated Americans. Okay. So I'm just going to read this because I have not. Well, wait a minute. I got advertisements popping up. Hang on. Okay. Just stop me when you want me to. Ready?
Yep.
With the Department of Veterans Affairs announcing this week that COVID-19 vaccinations will be mandatory for most VA health workers, a new chapter in America has opened. That announcement, the first by a federal agency, coupled with a letter signed by medical groups representing millions of doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other health care workers, also calling for mandatory vaccination of all U.S. health personnel, is a sea change. But now we have to go one step further. We must create safe havens for vaccinated Americans.
Okay, now remember he just said that. Okay, remember he just said that because I'm going to tell you what, in the next paragraph, shit's going to change. So let's just continue.
Okay. Traditionally, we think of one particular type of safe haven, the sanctuary city, as a place designed to shield immigrants from the long arm of the federal enforcement. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, a safe haven is a place that chooses to keep local resources available to local residents as a way of protecting people in need of protection while awaiting action on their cases. But why not use the concept of protection for those afraid of contracting COVID-19? A safe haven for the unvaccinated Americans.
Look how quick it changed. Safe haven, wasn't it just the vaccinated folks was going to have a safe haven? Didn't we just read that in the last paragraph? How the hell it changed to unvaccinated the next paragraph? That's all I want to say. Continue.
By 2 words, or 2 letters, actually. Unvaccinated. Okay. A safe haven for the unvaccinated Americans could be as big as a county or district, or as small as a school or religious organization. Think of it as a bubble, like the Olympic Village outside Tokyo, where testing, tracing, quarantining, and health and safety protocols can be carried out. What everybody inside the safe haven shares is the view that vaccinations remain the key to safety. There are rules that must be followed and procedures to guide everyone to a positive outcome. What the hell is that?
Yeah, right?
Right? What is it? That sounds like some propaganda. Let's all be happy or else shit. But continue.
Okay. As with any community, there must be exceptions. There are some individuals who cannot get the vaccine right now. Children, for example, would be kept in the safe haven until clinical trials. Children, for example, would be kept in the safe haven until clinical trials ensure that it is appropriate to vaccinate them. And anti-vaccination advocates who have had changed their tune in the light of COVID-19 family losses and now embrace vaccination.
They just said they're going to take our kids because anti-vaccination people will change their tune and it's side of family losses because they just told us in the previous sentence that they were going to keep kids in the fucking safe haven until they vaccinate them. Are we listening here?
And who would be better to talk about that than you?
I mean, fuck that. I mean, they try to touch
what
my
the
kid.
hell? Like, listen, they're telling us they're going to take our kids. What the hell?
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. You ain't touching my kid.
I swear, Dwayne, I promise you that. Like, the federal government, listen to me, hear me well. Okay, we're not playing that game. We are not. No.
I'm not the one to be on the bullshit. But you come after my baby. It's fucking game.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. We're not playing that game, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No,
because they're telling us that they're gonna take our kids.
Because I'm gonna say something, and sorry, I had to take a phone call, so I had to step out for a minute. So no, here's the thing: you try to touch my 2-year-old child with a vaccine needle,
or think you're gonna take them away to vaccinate them, you've lost your mind.
You've lost your damn fucking mind.
They are our children. They are not the government's, and the government needs to quit acting like they are parents. But Melissa Paris Harry years ago said, "Your children aren't yours. Your children are a part of the community, so they're all of our children." No, pretty sure I was the only one there pushing them out. Pretty sure I was the only one there dealing with the struggle. Pretty sure I was the only one there at night taking care of my own baby. Where was the community at helping me take care of my baby at night if it's their baby?
So
did they take their titty out and feed the baby? Did they do that? Did they come over and do that? No, they did not. So I'm sorry, but you know what? That's about the last thing that they're going to tell me that they're going to come over and do and tell me my kids are a part of the community and theirs. They have lost it too far. We have went too far this time. Too far. That's crazy.
You don't mess with the black
Where are they going to put all these kids? They can't even take care of the fucking kids in cages they already got.
Uh-oh.
I'm not playing. No, it's full tilt with the government now because you can't even take care of the ones you already got in cages. Take care of those ones first.
Hey, those are future voters. Watch it.
No, but I'm just saying, you got all these kids held hostage. Y'all raping these kids in Texas. Don't nobody want to talk about it. But now you want to take these kids? Absolutely not. What? So they could get raped and diddled in there? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Come on.
Like there is no way. Like there is just this is like that Bird Box movie. The Bird Box. That's what it was called, wasn't it? Bird Box. It wasn't Bird Song, wasn't it? Bird Box.
Bird Box. Yep.
Yeah, I ain't never watched that movie, but I feel like I need to now because you know what? This is crazy. They have just went too far. Now continue with the article because we got to get through the article because they're going to explain to us what we're going to do.
Now wait a minute. Like, can I speak? Can I speak my piece on this for a minute?
Oh, it's my show.
You can go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing. One, the government didn't lay down and make these fucking babies.
I'm saying.
You can stay up all night, and I'm coming off of my perspective of being a parent. You didn't wake up every night with your significant other wondering if you're going to lose the fucking child because you have polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Right.
Right. You weren't in and out of the hospital because of a vaccine injury that my son has. So if you think you're going to touch my 2-year-old baby, motherfucker, you're going to catch a bullet.
I'm telling you, man, I hate to be like this, but like this is one thing that I've always said. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill before. So that's it. You heard it here from Scarlett. I will die on that hill before any of that shit will ever happen to me. You'll have to take me out of society. I'll live on my own. I'll eat dirt and grass before I will ever bow down to that. I promise you, I will die in a box on the side of the road. I do not give a shit at this point. I will meet the Lord, and the Lord will reward me. Okay.
Amen. I'm right there with
You know, I will get there. Oh, thank you, Scarlett, my loyal and faithful servant. All right. All right. Okay. Because I'm not doing this. This has gone crazy. They have lost it.
This has gone too far. Because I'm sorry.
Exactly. See, oh, you know what there is? We already got that. Bonnie, we already have it. Mamalitia.org. Okay, for everybody out there listening and who will see this later, mamalitia.org. Okay, group of moms all around the country who will be armed, who will protect children, who will come out at a moment's notice to protect other people's families and children. And we're not playing with the government no more. We will be armed.
Not if they take your guns away.
Don't care. Come on. Come on. Because you're going to have to get me to get them first. And that's going to be the shot heard around the world. Because as soon as advocates find that out, it's on. That's it. There's no way they could take me out and not start some type of movement over it. There's no way. So come on.
People need to
Because
wake,
I'm not doing it. No. No. Like I said, I will die on this hill.
wake up, please.
Yeah, Mom Militia, because they're training people, and I'm sure they would allow even non-moms to join, you know, any woman, I'm sure, you know, who, because it is a group of women, and I'm sure there's going to be a few men here or there, you know, but the group is basically for women who want to take the power back for our families. Not that our men aren't capable, but that we have to show that we are a force to be reckoned with on our own. Because everybody's all worried about the Proud Boys and the men and toxic masculinity. Well, what are they going to say when they have women from all across the country, every color, every skin type, every background coming as the Mom Militia? What are they going to do then?
Yeah.
Look at the thing I just made.
Like, I'm sorry, but mama bears are scary. You don't want to piss off mama bear with her cubs, dude. Like, yeah, daddy bear will eat your ass up alive too, but like, no.
Yep.
Because moms have been silent and quiet for too long, and we deal with too much stuff. Okay, to just sit here and act like the government's just going to come swoop in and tell us what to do. They have gone crazy.
I'm telling you, don't piss off a woman, especially one that has a gun.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned from Sega. Like, legit.
Yep.
Look at the bottom of your guys' screens.
What? Nice.
Yeah, MAMA. So, yep, so not the O, but MAMA.org, yep. Because that's super censored. And there actually is a Zoom meeting on August 1st that will be a planning and strategy meeting for everybody, every county, every state across the country. Because we realize we don't have much time. And it's going to be at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I can get you, I'll get you on the book and get you the information so that you could, if you want to sign up and listen to what they have to say, go ahead. Because I can't see that they're not going to take anybody who's willing to protect children and be there in a group with others to stand up for what we believe in. Because it started by the Freedom Angels, and they were the ones in California who got arrested at the Capitol when SB 276 was happening, when they were mandating child vaccines for school. And this group protested. This is why Senator Pan runs around and acts like, anti-vaxxers are the devil, and, they're abusive and all these other things. But don't tread on me, because we gonna tread. If you tread on me, we gonna tread, okay? Because that's just not how it works. So, and now that we've got the power of the whole country, it's not just like a fringe movement group anymore. This is do or die. If we don't, and they allow mandates to come, that's the end. That's the end of freedom, because what's going to stop them from putting more vaccines on the schedule, killing more people, maiming more people? What's going to stop it? Nothing.
Nuremberg Code.
Fuck around and find out.
After all of us die, the Nuremberg trial? Like,
yep.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, how many, so I cannot let that occur. I just cannot. I know vaccines are not safe nor effective. I know that. The vaccine makers know that. That's why they have no liability. If your product is so safe and effective, why do you have immunity? We need to get this question up in the forefront immediately.
Fuck around and find out.
Because I don't think people realize you can't sue the government and or the vaccine manufacturer if you get damaged by their product.
Nope.
I don't think the general public is not understanding of that. That is what we have to drive home. Like, even if you believe in the vaccine, what if something bad does happen? Did you know that they don't have liability?
Yeah.
That no one will help pay your medical bills?
They have an indemnity.
Yeah, they've had it since 1986. So the National Vaccine Compensation Injury Compensation Program was created under Ronald Reagan. You know, that was the one thing that Reagan really fucked up on. Besides the war on drugs, like second biggest fucking thing he fucked up on. Because he allowed big to take over the government. Like, it's just, That's what I'm saying. Even old ladies that know how to kick butt. There's tons of old ladies that know how to kick butt who are ready, okay? I'd be more scared of old ladies than some of us young ones, for real. Because you know what? Older women have more maturity and they understand and they have less to lose. So honestly, I'd be more afraid of some of these older women out there, honestly, if they hook up with the group, especially like grandmas, you know, older ladies, all that. They're gonna be wanting to kick ass and take names. Because you know what? Most women have not got to kick ass and take names.
You guys
ever.
still there?
Yep. Should I continue?
Hello?
Yeah, you should continue.
Okay. Left outside the safe haven would be all those who resist vaccination with no good reason. No good reason? What the fuck? Sorry. And thus are in danger of spreading the virus to others. The governor of Alabama, that should say of, the governor of Alabama alluded to this last week when she commented that it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks.
Oh, do you know that Steve, when we went to court, tried to say that I am unvaccinated and that is an attack against Democrats?
What?
No bullshit. I swear to God. Tim, I swear to God. He was like, her being unvaccinated is an attack on Democrats and is trying to endanger my health.
No, it's an insult on your intelligence, you idiot. Whatever. Okay.
Oh, by the way,
oh my God! Like what?
I'm gonna say this. Shed some light. Just bring a little bit of humor in here for a minute. My stalker's been banned.
Okay.
Did you ban him?
I banned him.
We were having. I know it's hard. I get it.
Well,
okay, continue.
Here's the thing.
No,
I want to point out.
I get it, Dwayne. You get tired of it. I understand. I would too.
Well, when you
I don't blame you. I'm just teasing you and giving you a hard time. Yeah, that part's not cool. Like that part's
told to
not
go
cool.
fetch your master some water. Fuck you.
But that's not cool. If I'm not your little bitch, like I'm not here for that. So goodbye.
The only person's bitch
If
I am is
anything
Scarlett's.
in this situation. Well, not only that. In the other situation, I think he doesn't realize it'd actually be the other way around, but we don't have to get into all that. Like, if anything, he would be your little bitch, but we're not going into all that. So continue, Tim.
Alabama has one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Only 39.6% of its residents, 12 and older, have been fully vaccinated, compared to the 48.8% of Americans nationally. The unvaccinated people are enduring the most severe effects of the virus.
Where's proof of that? You see how they link every other claim in there, but they don't link to that? I would like to see where they're getting that number from, where they're getting that statement from.
They're pulling out of their ass.
I know they are, but I just would like to point that out.
Yeah, right. The unvaccinated people are enduring the most severe effects of the virus. I'm fucking fine. Fuck off. Okay. Accounting for more than 95% of the current COVID-related hospitalizations, but our medical resources are now stretched thin. Really? Most of these
not true.
Yeah. Right.
95%. No, maybe 50%. Maybe. But most of the places I've been hearing have been majority vaccinated.
Huh. Okay. The notion of a special place for vaccinated residents may strike some as divisive. You know what this reminds me of is fucking Nazi Germany with the Jews.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Yes,
it is.
does. Yep.
Right.
It's
But,
medical apartheid. It's just like concentration camps. It's like the propaganda of Juden. They're bad. Jews are bad. They're the worst. They're the awful. You know, everybody else is bad. You know, like we're the best. You're bad. And now you have to hate them because they're bad. So the
And then-
unvaccinated are dirty. They spread disease. Duarte, the Philippine president or whatever, said that vaccinated are just walking spreaders. And if they leave their house, they'll be brought back by police because they're just walking spreaders.
The vaccinated.
Oh, the unvaccinated, I mean. That's what he said.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
just walking spreaders. That's what
Wonderful.
he said. And that's stupid. It's asymptomatic spread is not even proven.
Really?
So it's like, yeah, no, it's not, because asymptomatic means you have no symptoms. So, I mean, how can you prove that you're spreading it if you have no symptoms? Has somebody been sat under clinical trial to prove it?
Beats shit
See what
out
I'm
of me.
saying?
Well,
No, they haven't. We know they haven't done that because all they've been doing is real world trials, because now somehow they've got the government and the world thinking real time trials are somehow superior to clinical trial. And we only have to clinical trial it for a short amount of time now because, you know, everybody wants things done fast. So we could just push it through extra fast now. We don't have to used to take 10 years to make a vaccine. Now we can make a vaccine in 6 months. It's cool.
yeah, just totally bypass human trials.
Yeah,
Here's
exactly.
my thing. I'm not even calling it a vaccine anymore.
It's gene therapy. It's gene
Mhm.
therapy. That's all it is gene therapy. Moderna says on their website that it is a gene therapeutic. And people in this evidence-based vaccine group were laughing at me because I was like, this is a screenshot from Moderna's website where they call it a gene therapeutic. And they were like, where does it say that it's gene therapy? What do you think a therapeutic is for genes, dumbass? Like, I hate to be like that, but what do they think that is? A therapeutic for genes isn't gene therapy? Like, what the fuck planet are we on? Please get me off of here because I need people with sense.
Was there a bunch of millennials here?
It's like people of all ages. Like, but you would think it would only be the young people who would be so ignorant to think that that wouldn't mean the same thing. A therapeutic isn't gene therapy. Oh, therapeutic, but it's not therapy. Like, what?
A vaccination.
Bro, like, the cognitive dissonance is so far from, like, actual sense at this point. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, what? Right. A vaccination's a vaccination. What's the problem?
Why did you just sound like somebody I know?
I don't know. It's probably a relative of yours.
Scarlett.
What?
Dwayne.
Where's Scarlett?
She's here.
He just sounded like Watchdog for a minute.
Oh, he did almost sound like Watchdog. I don't know if it was like full Watchdog, but it was. Okay, I get where you got that from.
I got scared for a minute.
Did you get scared? Okay, that was good. Okay.
What are you talking about?
That did sound like Watchdog. Fuck. Damn, that was Watchdog-esque. Are you Watchdog? Tim's Watchdog. Oh my God, let's take him out.
I have no fucking idea who he is. Should I continue?
Tim, you're fired.
Oh, not again. Can I get on to it?
Oh, well, Dwayne, you're not allowed to fire though. That's not your job.
You don't have
Scarlett, fire him.
No, but I do think he's low key Watchdog though.
Then fire his ass.
Look at how Delayed's face was, y'all.
Should I continue reading like
Oh,
this? You can listen to me, or what? No.
Yeah, Tim, go ahead
What
and
type
read
of gene though, Grant? Like, gene therapy. So if it was like an experimental, like gene therapy that makes someone, that's a little bit different. Because, like, here's the deal about vaccines. It can't be one size fits all. Okay, no drug is one size fits all. Therefore, no vaccine can be one size fits all because it is also basically a drug in essence. It's just something you inject rather ingest. Okay, so I just have an issue with that because it can't be one size fit all. It just cannot. That's not how drugs work. There's going to be people who cannot tolerate it. There's going to be people who have severe side effects more than others. You know, and considering people like Pfizer created things like Vioxx, where they lied to everyone and said, oh, this drug is super safe, even though they knew in clinical trial it was killing everybody. I don't trust them with this vaccine either. Why would we? And Pfizer actually came from Nazi Germany, which we brought over in Operation Paperclip.
What a shocker.
You're saying? You're saying? Shocker. Shocker.
Shall I continue? What? Okay. The notion of a special place for vaccinated residents may strike some as divisive, but truth be told, when there's an emergency, you have to act. Public health challenges demand creative solutions. Okay. If we put some parameters around who can enter, this is bullshit, really. If we can put some parameters around who can enter certain buildings in regions, the balance of power shifts to the vaccinated Americans and those who have taken the necessary steps to be stupid motherfuckers and to be safe from the virus. I added that, by the way.
You have to add that because do you hear the propaganda level that they are pushing?
Yeah.
Next level.
They can enter the they can enter the safe haven at will. So they just get carte blanche. Oh, yes, you can go, but the unvaccinated, how dare you?
Even
You
though
cannot
this week
enter.
we've been told that they can spread the virus, now that they can spread the virus and they can spread it around everybody and you can still catch it, you still get carte blanche. Like,
So
what?
my question is, what are these safe havens?
Well, people that are
They're
vaccinated.
saying, like, if you listen to the beginning of the article, they said it could be as big as like a county or a city or a state,
Yep.
or they didn't even say a state. It was that big of a space, okay? But it would be that big, okay? It would be many states, okay? But in their mind, they think we're a very, very small group, but actually we're a lot larger than that. But anyway, continuing on, they said like a small religious organization or school even. So that's what they said, these little safe havens and different cities and areas would be able to create their own parameters, so to speak.
Okay, here's some more guilt crap here. We all deserve health. And if someone is knowingly and voluntarily refusing protection from COVID-19, they are creating an unsafe environment, putting the lives of nurses, doctors, EMT responders, and children at risk of catching their viral load.
Okay, and they say viral load. Okay, and they say at risk of catching their viral load. Well, we just found out this week from Rochelle P. Walensky, head of the CDC, that the unvaccinated and vaccinated carry the same amount of viral load. So what the hell are you talking about? Okay, now read who actually wrote that. Look at the bottom, Tim, because it says who she is. Read what her title is.
Tara D. Sonnenschein is a former U.S. Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs.
Yep. See, so she's the one who would write this type of crap, okay? Because she would actually be the policymaker. She was former, so she was in that position, but she would be the type of person who would know what these people in the position now would be doing. Trust me. That's why they have her writing on the Hill.
Well, she's a crazy bitch.
Yeah, she really is. But she's U.S. Undersecretary of Policy and shit, and so you know that that is coming from some place that she knows that the authority would be there to do it. If that makes sense.
Yep.
This is why she wrote it that way, because they want to test the waters and see how people respond to an article like that. And I'm sorry, but that safe haven crap has got to go. Because first they say, okay, now here's the whole thing about the overarching thing of the whole article. How come at the beginning they say for the vaccinated, safe havens for the vaccinated? Then they say for the unvaccinated. Which one is it? Are you going to lock us up or lock them up? Which one? Which one? Because they said in there that we would be left on our own.
Yeah, I think we're going to be cast out like the fucking Hunger Games.
That's what I mean. They said they were just going to leave us out on our own.
Yep. Fend for yourself.
Okay, and that's fine, but then leave us alone, you see. But they're talking about snatching our kids. Then that's why they said the people who are anti-vax will then want to come to the little sanctuary because their kids will be there and they want their kids back, you see.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. I'm not doing it. Look, I'll be like Sophie's Choice up in here. Do not play with me, okay? Like, I hate to be like that, but I will be dramatic. It will be till the end, okay? Like, for real. I'm not playing. They have lost their minds with this one. I knew it was going to come to this, though. Everybody thought I was crazy. Oh, Scarlett, you don't know what you're talking about. That ain't actually going to happen. They ain't going to try to vaccinate everybody. They ain't going to try to force vaccinate nobody. Like, that ain't never going to happen. Look where we are. Look where we are.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we should continue this. It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes, but I think we should continue it some other time.
Absolutely.
Like part 2. And we can do it at Clarity at midnight, or we can do it at the Wayne Show, or whatever. But this is a never ending battle. And I'm just going to say, and I'm not closing the show.
Pam.
Hello, Pam. Pamela.
We miss you too.
I'm going to tell you something. People don't wake the fuck up. When they fuck with your kids, if that don't wake you up, then you're just beyond hope.
America's dead then.
Yep.
America's dead then. If we don't stand up for this and say, no, we're not taking our rights, because the law enforcement, the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association actually came out with a statement when Joe Biden said that all federal employees have to have the vaccine, that came out and actually said, like, look, like, this is against our, like, civil rights.
Yeah.
Like, we should have a choice to do this or not, and not be excluded from society, because otherwise, once you're excluded from society, this is why we made civil rights rules. Like, in the civil rights policy, it didn't say except when you are deemed a public health threat. It doesn't fucking say that in there. Where does it say that shit? So you can't just now start picking and choosing who civil rights apply to. So that's the problem. And that was the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association. So I think that's a pretty big group to come out against the government. So we at least have some organizations speaking up, but we need more organizations to sign on with this, more organizations that mean something, like these law enforcement officers or the firefighters or whoever it is. But they need to start, like, standing up, you know, groups and of establishment, basically, and say, hey, no, we're not doing this. Because I don't think people realize how much we're going to lose in the healthcare industry and shit across the board.
The health industry's fucked.
Yeah.
Because they're all complying with their $52,000, well, diagnose them with COVID or a death certificate, COVID-19, or diagnose them and they get the 10 grand or whatever if they're still alive, and then they throw them on a respirator and ventilator and kill them. But yeah, this is all bullshit and all for money. And in the medical industry, if this is true and you're complying with this, you should be ashamed of yourself, because you are destroying your reputation in the medical industry, and you're there to keep us healthy and trust you to make sure you take care of us.
And that you know the proper information and you know how things work. You know, every nurse and doctor and all these healthcare workers should also know how vaccines work. None of them have ever been taught how they work. None of them have ever read a vaccine insert. You know, I found out today that remdesivir actually got FDA approved last year in October.
Okay.
Did anybody know that remdesivir was approved October 22nd of 2020? The drug that was given to Trump when he got hospitalized and given to other people, that it was actually FDA approved. So we actually have one FDA approved treatment for COVID-19, but yet we don't talk about it.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
it
if
was brought up
we have a drug and a treatment that is FDA approved, but it's only, see, the caveat is how they're going to get away with it, because if you actually have a treatment, you can't get FDA approval on a vaccine for something else during an EUA.
Yeah.
But how they're
So
going to get
that-
away with this is that they approve the drug for only hospital use. So unless you're
that is just-
hospitalized, you can't get this drug.
That's
But
bullshit.
it was approved October 22nd of 2020. It is called, it was called remdesivir, but the actual like name for it is like some other name. Like it actually has a brand name for the drug.
Hmm.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah,
I'm looking it
so-
up now. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
I'm
you should look
looking
it up. Just put in remdesivir real quick because it'll say right. It's like
How is that? How's
Like
that spelled?
hydrochloroquine is quinine, like that, right?
Yeah, but it's like so it's like a actual brand name drug because they
Okay.
patented it.
Okay, so here it is. So remdesivir COVID-19. Sorry, I went to the computer lab for a minute to go look some things up.
It's called
Remdesivir is an-
Ekelby or something like that, like the actual like drug name.
Right. So remdesivir is an intravenous.
Oh, Veklury. It's called Veklury.
All right. So let me read this. You ready?
Yeah, Veklury is what it's called. So it was actually FDA approved last year. We haven't heard a shit thing about it. How come
Well,
nobody?
I'm
How
about-
come we're not talking about remdesivir?
Because if you'll stop for a minute, I'm about to read it.
Read it, Dylan.
Remdesivir is an intravenous nucleotide prodrug of an andust analog. Remdesivir binds to viral NRA-dependent or NRA polymerase and inhibits viral replication through premature termination of RNA transcription, and it is demonstrated in virtual activity against SARS-CoV-2 in a rehashed mouse model of SARS-CoV-2 infection. Remdesivir treatment was initiated soon after inoculation. The remdesivir-treated animals had lower virus levels in the lungs and less lung damage than the control animals. Remdesivir is approved by the Food and Drug Administration for the treatment of COVID-19 in hospitalized adult and pediatric patients aged 12 years and weighing under 40 kilograms. It is also available through an FDA emergency use authorization for the treatment of COVID-19 in hospitalization pediatric patients weighing 3.5 kilograms or 40 kilograms or ages 12 years and weighing 3.5 kilograms. Remdesivir should be administered in a hospital or a healthcare setting that can provide a similar level of care to an inpatient hospital. Remdesivir has been studied in several clinical trials for the treatment of COVID-19. The recommendations from the COVID-19 treatment guidelines panel, the panel are based on the results of these studies. See table 2A, which I'll go for here in a minute. The safety and efficacy of combination therapy of remdesivir with corticosteroids have not been rigorously studied in clinical trials. However, there are theoretical reasons that
Because they were
combination
doing the steroids and the hydroxychloroquine and the remdesivir as like a cocktail, and then they kind of pulled off of doing both. So like that's what they figured out.
But yep, there's more. There are theoretical reasons that combination therapy may be beneficial in some patients with severe for COVID-19. For panel's recommendation on using remdesivir with or without dexamethasone in certain hospitalized patients.
Oh, so this was like an
Monitoring
originally an off-label usage. That's interesting, Bonnie. So remdesivir potentially was created 10 years ago to create Hep C. So
Right,
it was already
so-
existent. So that makes you wonder what the hell this shit is too, though. Like honestly. But the point of the day, we don't have to read all about the drug. The point of the day is that the drug was approved last year, and that's bullshit. And we haven't heard nothing about it. And we have a treatment, but we hear nothing about it. And yet they're pushing this vaccine like it's the only thing that exists. Nothing else works. Tough rocks. If you go to the hospital, we're going to put you on a ventilator so you die. Okay.
Well,
and
here's
that's
what's
just
funny.
not how we should be going through this. Like, because we got to wrap this up though, because Tim wanted to wrap this up. So we got to wrap it up. We can't read a whole thing about remdesivir right now.
I want to read this, but this is where it gets weird. Okay. Clinical drug interaction studies of remdesivir have not been conducted in vitro. Remdesivir is a substrate of cytochrome, and the drug of transport is organic anion transporting polypeptide. But it's also being used. It's not a singular drug. It's always used with hydrochloroquine.
Quinine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
don't just
hydroxychloroquine
use
has been like
remdesivir
the
by
most
itself.
underutilized substance this whole time, and everybody acts like, oh, we shouldn't use it. But
Yeah.
that also shows that COVID is like almost an autoimmune attack because like the conditions that hydroxychloroquine would actually work for usually were like lupus and like multisystemic diseases. Like it wasn't like, so that's why I think people don't realize it's like an overload of like toxins and like things like maybe even being pulled out of the body even. I don't know, but it's something else because that class of drugs usually doesn't treat something that can go away quickly. It like almost reminds me of like Lyme in a way, the way it's attacking, like with the onset, like but quicker.
Disease?
Yeah, like Lyme's,
Yeah.
like how it's like multisystemic and like starts shutting down your body, but it's like a quicker onset because usually Lyme's takes a while to kick in. But like this, like it reminds me of kind of like that, why they would try to kill it right away with like antibiotics in the case of Lyme's disease, or like in this one, antivirals. They're trying to kill it right away before it can actually like get into your system, because then after that, you're going to have multisystemic function forever, like dysfunction. Like that's how I see this, this is at this point.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to acknowledge that.
No.
And then yesterday, the Australian government said, well, we're not going to actually stop mitigating for this because it's spreading like chickenpox. And pretty soon, once we hit, a certain amount of people vaccinated, then we won't have to deal with this anymore. So basically, they're saying we have to get 85% vaccinated or else. And then we'll treat it like an endemic disease. Why wouldn't you treat it like an endemic disease now if that's what it is? Why would you wait until some magic number that doesn't matter, that they've researched, does the number of threshold actually matter where we hit? And they said no. Even Fauci said no. And now all of a sudden that's so codependent on our existence. And then they admitted we'll treat it like an endemic disease. What did I tell everybody on FRN? In January of 2020, that eventually it would turn into an endemic disease and it would be like a normal, like childhood illness or other illness that we catch all the time. Once we hit a certain point of people, we would hit herd immunity and then we would drop off. But they acted like the only type of immunity that exists is vaccine-induced immunity. And they used to call vaccines immunizations, but now they're calling them inoculations because if they tell you you're immunized, then they would have to admit that there's some form of immunity, but they only want vaccine-induced immunity recognized. That's the problem we have. We need to teach them that you cannot inject health and an immune system is not injected. And that needs to be the key point we keep driving home, because I think that's the only way we get out of this is like, no, do more studies on natural immunity. There was some articles talking about it lasts for potentially 10 years, some of the protection, they're estimating. Already a year in, some people have had, antibodies the whole time. So that's what we need to push home is that our immune systems are not injected. You cannot inject health. Like that is crazy talk. Vaccine-induced immunity is not the only immunity that exists. We know natural immunity is real.
Right. Also, here's my thing too. And I want to say this because I know too much to wrap this up. I know when I get off of work tomorrow, I'm doing a show about this. I'm going to do a part 2 if you guys are up for it.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah, I'm sure I have more to talk about because I've just, like I said, there's a bunch of things that I've been sitting here thinking about that I've been like, we should do a show on that.
Yes, we should.
And there's so many things at this point. It's like pick a topic out of a hat, which we might do. Like maybe we'll put some topics in a hat, like a bunch of different things and just do whatever we pick out and then go to the next topic and pick it out and it'll be random because at this point we have something for everything. Shit is falling apart quick.
I mean, if you guys send me topics, I have this generator thing on my phone and we can just do it like that.
Yeah, we could do like the random generator and do a wheel. That'd be a good idea. And then take one away every time we do it. And then respin it and yeah, we could do that. Let's come up with. I'll come up with a list.
I plan on calling you after this because I'm sitting here at my computer.
Okay. Yeah, you can call me after. Because we got to think of something, you guys, and I'm gonna figure out some way of connection. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell everybody about. There's a satellite phone deal. Okay. Through Steve Quayle that I checked out last night, y'all, on stevequayle.com. Okay. Or it might be stevequayle.org. I don't know. Look up stevequayle.com. On there, he has a partnership with a group that sells sat phones. Okay. And why you might want a sat phone, why we all might want sat phones, okay, is because it works outside of the cell phone grid. Okay, so you don't have to be hooked up to the cell phone grid to use this phone. Okay, you can call any number anywhere. Okay, now the minutes are expensive. Okay, but you have to think about this. You're only going to use this like in a serious emergency or if shit goes down. It's like, depending on the plan you pick, it could be anywhere from like 89 to like 99, sometimes $50. And then if you spend like the $89 plan, you get the phone for free. If you get the lesser plans, you got to buy the phone. They even have 2 phone deals, all this stuff. You can roll over your minutes even from month to month if you don't use them. So like they would just sit there and stack up to when you needed to use them. But it's a satellite phone that's guaranteed to be, and you can text on this. So this could be a way that if we start getting everybody to get one, we all could communicate if the shit hits the fan. Outside of cell phones that is encrypted, nobody can break in on our signal, and people would be able to communicate. So I'm going to try to get everybody that link, and I will do it the next. Hold on, let me send it to Tim.
I put it up.
Throw it. I'm sending you one now from the one I just read about remdesivir. From the one about remdesivir.
Where'd everybody go?
Tim, I'm still here.
Okay. Where'd Scarlett go? She leave?
No, she's coming back here in a minute.
Okay.
No, I'm sitting here. I came since I was listening while I was on the phone. I had to make a phone call. My mom told me to call her.
Okay.
But no, I was listening and I'm sitting here, dude, like, there's so many different drugs that have been used to just treat COVID, and it's not even funny. I gotta add Scarlett back. Hold on.
Okay, did you get the link, Tim? Because yeah, it's a big deal. So I don't know. I think it's important. I'm probably going to get one. I'm really thinking about investing in one because I think it's kind of important because at least like if all the listeners necessarily got one, we could all talk to each other. Like, yeah, it's a big investment for anybody and it is a lot of money. Like the device itself, I think is like $300. But they have plans starting like as cheap as like $50 for like 100 minutes if you like buy it separately, if you do it a la carte. You know what I mean? So like there's ways to do it and you can roll over if you get into a plan, like I said, and you could add up your minutes, you know, things like that. And so I think it's not a bad idea. We'd be able to communicate and get things out across the country. And I think that's going to be really important because what are we going to do if they shut us off? Because the Biden administration said that they can like read our text messages now. So how are we actually going to effectively communicate throughout groups if we're going to do this right?
Yep. I put it up there, so we'll see.
Yeah, thank you. Because I think that's important. Like, I hate to like, you know, bump Steve Quayle and not, but we don't have a deal with them. And it looks like a legit deal. Because like I said, I looked up the company, I looked up the technology, and it's as legit as it gets. Like, I don't know how much more legit you could be. So like, if people are thinking about like, oh, how would I communicate? You know, they're not able to get internet, but if you had phone numbers and ways to communicate that way, and they give you your own USA phone number, so it's a separate phone number than let's say and you would only want to give this to like, you know, your legit crew. You know what I mean? Like people you know that you're going to work with if the shit hits the fan, and only those people.
Right.
And that's it. And but you could at least contact those people no matter where they are, especially if you're concerned, like, let's say you and the person you are supposed to be bugging out with live in like different places. How would you contact them if like the grid went down tomorrow? If you had a sat phone, you could.
Right.
If all power goes out, natural disaster happens, everything else is, you know, like I said, all the cell towers are down, you point that antenna up to the sky and you're calling.
Good.
like legit.
Yep.
So that's what I recommend. We're going to hurry up and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. We appreciate you so very much. We love all of you, and we'll be back soon. And I promise I will be back soon. And we'll
Tomorrow
keep
night.
talking about these things. And we got to do something, you guys. We got to work together.
We have to.
There's no other choice at this point.
What's that, Dwayne?
Well, we'll be back tomorrow.
Are we going to be back tomorrow? We'll actually see if we'll be back tomorrow. Famous last words of Dwayne, and then we won't be back tomorrow. So we'll see if we'll be back.
No, we'll be back tomorrow. I don't
Okay,
care
we'll
if
see.
I have to stay up late.
Okay.
We will be
We'll
back
see
tomorrow.
then. Well, nobody's on air, so we can start earlier.
I don't
Okay.
get off till 11.
Oh, so you want to start after you get off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tim's up for staying up late.
Well, then, yeah, check us out. Maybe look for your notification about 11:30 Eastern Standard.
Probably midnight.
Yeah, probably
12:50.
like midnight. Well, let's say midnight. Give it a time, Dwayne. Like, if it's gonna
I
be
would say
midnight,
about
then
12.
be there at midnight.
12:30.
Midnight
Check
Eastern.
us out at 12.
Don't be starting. No,
12:30.
because then you'll never end up starting. Dwayne's starting at midnight. He's going to be there, or else. Okay, like or else.
If
You're fine.
not, if I'm
If not,
still
you're
at
fine.
work, then
If not, you're fine.
if not, I'll have Scarlett start my show for me.
Okay. Otherwise, you're fired. So you're gonna show up, Dwayne. Remember because you said it. So we're following through with listeners. Okay. So I love you, man, but you gotta follow through.
Hey, that's why I said 12:30 because I'm not guaranteed out at midnight.
Okay, we'll see. But we'll be there. Okay, so and we'll see.
You will be there. It's been so amazing being back on air, and I'll tell you what, I've been gone for a month and a half, and it is
And it is Friday, so I might come back a little bit later. So everybody,
I'll
if
be
you're still
asleep.
around later, come check us out again.
I'll be asleep.
I don't care what you're doing, Dwayne. I might be around later. And I say I'll like the network. We'll be back later, like the network. So we'll see. It depends. But
Unless Scarlett keeps me up all night.
we'll see. Like I said, we're going to try to put out some more things so that we can stay on top of stuff. So we're going to work it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And once I have a laptop, I'll be back more.
Okay.
Yeah, that does help too. Yeah, because I still don't have a computer yet, but I have better signal now because I got a cell phone internet booster for inside, and then one antenna goes outside. So now it amplifies my signal inside, and it works really good now, as you guys can see.
Yeah, you've only been booted out twice.
I know, which is really good because I feel like that's just StreamYard's problem, not ours. Just saying.
All right. So, any closing statements here? It's been a great show. First show back for me in 2 months, and
Yeah.
Scarlett and Dwayne. And
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for coming in and listening to pretty much an off the cuff, unplanned show.
True.
So,
But good shows as always, because when we're together, we always have good information. Everybody's heard of something different. We've all been following our own paths still, but still keeping up on stuff. So, I mean, as you guys can see, we don't miss a beat. We haven't been falling off. If you thought, ooh, Scarlett fell off. Nope, Scarlett ain't fell off. I'm still here. But it's time to come back. Because I was even telling Laura Wells that, and she was like, right? Because I was like, I think I'm even going to come out of hiatus to start talking about things again. I literally told her that yesterday. I was like, I'm going to come out of hiatus to start talking about things again because it's gone too far at this point. Just so many things are happening at once that we're going to have to just document this for the sake of documenting it alone. And she was like, yeah, I agree. So, it's time. So Scarlett's back. We're going to get down to business. I'm going to do the best we can, but I am going to be moving and doing other stuff too. So you might not get frequency of shows as much, but you will get content. So
I do want to say this. It has been tonight's show. You know what? Here's the one thing is I love the unplanned. The unplanned shows is where it's at for all of us.
Oh snap! Yeah, come on, TLO, come on.
And Tim, I want to say thank you for letting me on your show again. It's always a pleasure coming on here with you. And to having Scarlett back on the network, and all three of us just being back together, this has been one hell of a show. Like Scarlett said, even though you may see us behind, you may not see us here, but we're always behind the scenes. We're always still talking to each other. We talk to each other pretty much every day. I still get them 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls waking me up going like, Dwayne, we need to talk. Or Dwayne, where the hell you been?
Yeah, I love everybody. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us. We missed you guys. We're gonna be back. Like I said, Tilo, I'll hit you up. I guess while I'm talking to Dwayne. Are you off work yet? Don't you get off work soon, don't you? So we'll talk.
Yeah.
And thank you guys because I appreciate it. And we got to do something. We're gonna have to figure out a game plan because this is it. This is game time, go time. This is it. This is it.
This ain't sit around and dick around time. This is time to get proactive and get down and the nitty gritty and hit the dirt.
We're in the war now. We're in the war now. Like that's it. We got to create the front lines now.
We ain't got choice.
There's no choice. No. They're leaving us with no choice.
We got to quit being the divided the United States and get back to the United States of America.
And at least agree to disagree. Even if you don't want it. Leave the people who don't want it alone.
Yep.
That's it.
That's right.
Just leave others alone. So thank you guys. We love you. From the land of 10,000 lakes. Good night, universe.
From the seas to the skies and from the great East Coast. Good night, y'all.
Night. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this unplanned, unscheduled show from the original Red Pill Show. Great to be back on Freedom Revolution Network, although we never really left. And like Scarlett said, we are working in the background. Do not think for 1 second that we're sitting on our laurels and on our ass. We are all breathing and living this stuff to wake you people up, to make you realize that you need to take action and at least think for yourself. Because if you don't, and by the time you do wake up, it might be a little bit too late. So thanks again. We'll see you next time and have a great night. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow and love y'all. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.